Hello, friends and fellow gamers. I am That Zero, and we are back with another episode of Playing Doctor. Today, I am joined by Torre. How you doing today, man?
I'm alright, man. I'm doing great, actually.
Awesome. So we have a few things to talk about today. Unlike when some people actually come to me to ask for stuff, this time I actually came to you because you were over in the help channel looking for some advice, and I felt like this is something that could probably help you out a bit. I don't remember the exact context. I think maybe it had something to do with building units or something along those lines, but yeah, so hopefully we'll be able to help you out and feel much stronger after we're done here and have some really good goals for your account to work towards. So,
Yeah.
I think let's start into the meaty bits, which is unit building, and let's see what you got going on. So, let's go ahead and take a look at who you have, first of all. So, sorting by power. Roy, I assume, is your main boy, just judging by
Yeah.
Awaken 6, E5, highest level, etc., which is great, because Roy is fantastic. So, from what I understand, you don't have any units that can cap currently on their non-crits, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay,
At
cool.
least how I have them built.
Great. So we should definitely be able to help that, but we'll see what tools you have for it. So I'd say let's definitely focus on Roy first. Do you use Angela much? It looks like she's probably your best mage. Definitely your best
Yeah,
mage.
yeah.
Okay. And we can probably get her capping too, or at least put you on a path to be able to get her there, because she can do it pretty easily. And then depending on what time we have, maybe we can look at some other units as well. Is there anybody else that you really enjoy on your account?
I forget her name. DeRogue? The one with
The
the...
Grog? Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, right here.
Cheetah?
Cool. Okay, sweet. Great. All right, well, let's look at Roy and Angela first, especially because they're two different types of DPS units. We have some physical and some magic, so we can look at different ways that you would build each of those units. So let's see what Roy's working with right now. And before I crack this open, we'll context in general. No matter what I say, it's all cool. Like, everybody learns. I don't know what you got going on, if there's some good stuff, if there's some bad stuff. But we've all been there and we all learn. So, no matter how over the top I am, like, there's nothing wrong with it at all. We're here to learn. So don't take anything the wrong way. I'm not trying to, like, troll you or make you feel bad or something. It's just in good fun. So anyway, let's see what we got going on. So, equips, first of all. Okay, it's pretty good. I'm not mad at this. There's a great bow for him. Trishula to ignore resistances. That's good. In a fully realized endgame build, I don't think you need Trishula for most fights. It's a really, really niche that you need it, but until you get there, works great for just generic use. These can be much better, though. This doesn't matter at all, simply because he doesn't use magic. Or at least he shouldn't be. Maybe you have him taught some magic stuff, but generally...
No.
Okay. So, the thing that usually confuses people is you see a big fat int stat and a whole bunch of stuff in their kit that it boosts int, and then they think this is a magic user, but that's not really how stats work in this game. So, it is true that when it comes to magic damage, which specifically magic damage is any offensive spell in this magic list that you can use from the magic menu that costs MP, and then you use the thing. This is the only thing in the entire game that's considered magic damage.
Okay, so there's no units that deal it, like...
Nope. All skills and all regular attacks are always considered physical damage. Even on mages, it's always physical damage.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But different units, depending on what those skills are, these can scale their damage off of strength, int, or a combination of both, depending on the unit. So in Roy's case, he actually scales... And just so you know, that also can differ between skills. So it could be like S1 could scale 100% off strength. S2 could scale 50% strengths, 50% int. And like it could be that granular. So just be aware that's a thing that can happen. To my knowledge, Roy is basically 50-50 on strength and int. But in his base kit, he has a bunch of stuff that promotes int, as you've probably seen with things like Auto Aura, Wisdom's Protection. I think he's probably got Thaumaturgy Ring. Yeah, he's got Thaumaturgy Ring. So that means even though he scales 50-50, he's still going to get a little bit more out of int than strength anyway. So we'll just keep that in mind for when we get to the skill stuff. So anyway, back to equips. Yeah, so this book basically does nothing but gives him a little bit of int and then some resistance to illness, which is fine. But let's see what other stuff you got. So this is probably really good on him in general. This Pod 143 is plus 10% damage when hitting weak. Especially because Roy really wants to be hitting things that are weak to fire. And that's one of the ways that he's going to be able to cap really, really easily. So instead of using Trishula in order to counter things that are weak to fire, we just aim to make them weak to fire. So I'll show you some of the ways that you can do that. So that's something that I would change on him. This isn't bad. It's just some defensive stuff. But if we're looking to cap, we want something offensive. So Hunting Bandana isn't bad. Let's see some of this other stuff that we got. Green Pendant isn't bad. I would say when you can get to the point of God Forging this into Black Pendant, it's really, really good. But I don't know how far away that is for you. I'm assuming you probably have a fair bit of the world bosses to beat yet. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Awesome. So that will be something to work towards, and then Black Pendant can go on him, which is really, really nice. For now, we'll just look for something that's relatively high strength. Like I said, this actually isn't that bad, so maybe we'll just leave it for some defensiveness. He doesn't need all aggro, it's fine. Let's see what other stuff we can have here. So, stop filtering here. Alright. I'm going to go back and just take a look at what some of the gear is that you have. Like I said, I think what you have is probably fine for now. But I still like to see anyway. Take a little look. If we can get his damage up there, he can use Scarlet Blade to just increase his damage cap further. So that's an option. That one's just for Aaron. Wait, you have Levi's Blade? Wait.
Yeah, I tried so hard to get him when he was during the crossover.
Oh, that's painful. You got his paid but didn't get him. That is that hurts the soul, my friend. It hurts the soul.
It does.
Okay. Let's see here. This is another really good option for him, the Salamander Sword. This could probably just go on in place of Trish once we get him built out and get you set up to like fight weaknesses and stuff, because this would just be a 15% increase. So this with the bow, pretty nice. And the other thing that we'll do is this and the bow both have fire attribute. So what that does for you is in his base kit, for many elemental or many physical DPS that then have specific fire elements to them, not fire, I'm sorry, elements in general, they tend to have lots of things that promote fire damage specifically, or whatever their element happens to be, which means, so for right here, fire attack damage plus 30%. Let's see here, what's some of the other specific things? If we look in his equips, passive skills, under fire stuff, he's got fire mega drive, fire attack raise 2, weak point boost as well if we're managing to make things weak. Basically, all those things that can promote fire damage, those can apply to his regular attacks as well, which is really, really great when he comes built in with Goddess Kiss. So this will make it so that your regular attacks will return MP based on the damage you do. So if you can have your regular attacks doing more damage, he can spike MP back up, which means you get to keep spamming his S3, which is beautiful.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that's one of the benefits of having fire weapons in general. So, all right, So back to his build. Let's see what we got. HP, okay. Add some bulkiness. Not great, but it's something pretty good. MP up. I love these. This is great on Roy. All the MP you can give him is great. That means more S3 spam. And it also means if you're getting kills and have Pose for Honor, which we'll see if it's in your build, then you're getting more returns on that too, which is great for clearing mobs. Magic and attack ups, these will probably go away by the time we're done with your build. So in general, these are just really, really bad like SC cost to like end result. Like the efficiency of them is just not very good. And that's kind of for two reasons. One, a unit already comes with really high base stats, at least new ones such as Roy. And they also already have some of these boons. Like he's got a 10% up in here, 18% there. So if you're adding an extra 5%, and he's also got magic up 4. So if you're adding an extra one, it's just diminishing returns because that just stacks additively with these ones. And additionally, we don't always know the exact math behind how your skills are going to scale. Maybe they get benefit from strength, maybe it's int, maybe it's both, and maybe some skills are different than others, which means maybe on his S3, he'll get more benefit from having int, but then his S2 is weaker for it. So like it's not super consistent in addition to just not being really efficient in general. So the main thing we want to look for is percent damage increases. So let's take a look. So by the time we're done, you won't need these at all. Like endgame builds don't use aim vitals or advanced aim vitals. But since you're not capping, it's really great. So keep that in mind. So we're good here now because you're not capping yet. But when you are, these can just go away because the goal is going to be to have your non-crits hitting cap.
Okay.
Just for consistent damage across the board. This I do like, though. Crit up 2 in Proud Force. This is just good passive sustain. It's really low investment for just keeping his health topped up, which is great. I love that. Mimicry God, I assume you had a reason for this. That can probably go away.
There was an arc that allowed God units to regenerate MP.
Okay, cool. So in regards to that, are you aware of a website called Last Claudia Goldmine?
No.
Great. That's going to be a huge boost to your quality of life in this game. So I'm going to Discord you a link, and it's going to change your life. Well, in this game. I don't know about all the rest of your life, but for here, it's going to be really great. So basically, consider this the one-stop shop for encyclopedia knowledge. If you go here, you can do something like go to ARCs and look at the one that you're referring to, which is Lugmechia. So, you can look at Lugmechia, and it's got a detailed description of what exactly it does, instead of, some just guessing, because some things can be really ambiguous in this game. So, for instance, on this one, it says, if a unit is God type, heal 4 MP every 6 seconds. So, considering his S3s take 115 MP every cast, you can imagine 4 MP every 6 seconds is not going to do anything. Okay. So, then you can make an informed decision, now that you know the details, that arc probably not going to be great. So, yeah, this tool in general, if you do something like, if I have skills that I recommend teaching to a unit, you come in here, click skills, search for the name, and then it'll tell you what arcs you can have them on, so you can go cross-reference with your list of arcs, and then you can see for yourself if you have the things to make that. So, yeah, that website, like, there's probably plenty of people, myself included, like, I couldn't get by playing this game if I didn't have this website. The guy that makes it, his name is Lake. He's in the main LC Discord. You'll probably see him sometimes. He's on Reddit. He's the guy that posts like 20 paragraphs of high detailed information whenever people ask information about the game. He's a legend. So yeah, he makes this website along with many other resources. So good shit. I've got a link to this and a whole bunch of other crap on my Discord in my LC Bookmarks channel. So I encourage you to go check it out sometime and just go look through some of the different resources that there are. Main LC Discord has a whole bunch of stuff like that too. So yeah, don't be afraid to go find resources because this game is confusing. It has so many layers and like nobody knows everything. Like we want to think that we know a lot of shit, but like still random things pop up that we just don't know. And we're like, oh, that changes things. Cool. So Anyway, back into the game. All right, so fast brave, not bad. I don't hate it. Like I said, stat increases overall aren't great if we don't necessarily know what they scale off of, but things that are a lot of gain for very little SC can be really good. So for instance, the brave buff is 20%, and when you're only paying 2 for it, not bad. Especially if we're going to be building some strength gear, which you'll have, that can just scale up to be decently good. I would say it's not necessary, so if we need room in order to get some other percentage damage increases, this might go, but for now, solid. Fast critical, great. That goes with crit 2 and Proud Force for some passive sustain, which is nice. In your case, also helps damage since you're needing that. Fast Magic Circle, this is another one of those that if you look up what it actually does, you'll realize it's really bad. This is 1 MP every 6 seconds. So, big money. Big money. So, just not great. Backfire, this isn't bad, except, like, he's pretty survivable if you're kind of building for it a little, and you have Proud Force stuff built in for passive sustain. Odds are pretty high his HP is not going to be below 30%, so this is probably kind of wasted.
Okay.
This, however, pretty good. I love Moonlight on him. This is really, really good, because this is the type of stat increase that for 4 getting 20% when he already has high base int, this scales off of his innate stuff, which is really nice. Pride could work as well if you end up having higher strength, but not being there is fine. Ordor, again, this is like Advanced Aim Vitals. You pretty much are only going to build it in niche cases, which I'm not even going to get into with you right now, because we're gonna talk about more normal builds. So for now, since you're relying on aim vitals and stuff, then getting more crits is good for damage. But when the goal is to make your non-crits cap, getting an extra 10% when you're high doesn't matter, because all we care about for crits is passive sustain from Proud Force. And if you're already max HP, you don't need any more sustain. So yeah, wasted.
Right.
Wasted. All right. This is all looking good. Don't have attack raise on him, which I think is great because this is really inefficient. If you don't have other choices, these can be fine, but 11 SC for plus 20 isn't great. So we'll see if you have other tools. If you don't have anything else, this is going to be better than like the basic stat increases you have, for example. Okay. So 11 SC for this is probably going to impact your damage greater than 11 SC worth of just basic attack ups. That's what I'm saying. So Pose for Honor, great. This is huge. I see some people not running this, and it's just, it hurts my soul. So the fact you got that going on is great. Spirit Breath, that you don't really need because he uses his MP for skills. He doesn't really need skill charges at all. So normally, Spirit Breath is super duper good, and I really like it. In his case, I'm not a huge fan. So, yeah. Great. I don't know what you're doing for heals on him. Like, do you have a dedicated healer that's, like, spamming heals on him to make this work?
I was using, oh my god, Tinkali?
Okay, cool.
As a healer?
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's fine. Totally fine. That's great. Sky High, great, good damage boost. Surprise Attack and Backstab is one of the easiest ways to boost your damage. So if you can just get behind an enemy, and especially if you can kind of force them to face away from you because you put monster attractiveness on some other unit, maybe a tank you have, or maybe even your support unit, this is a really, really good way to boost up your damage. So we'll keep that in mind. Yeah, dual wield, great. Can't go wrong with dual wield. Okay, these all look good. Sharp Eyes Berserker, great. I love Berserker, one of my favorite skills. So that looks awesome. Sharp Eyes, since you're not capping, Sharp Eyes is good. I think when you get your build really fleshed out, I personally like taking Sharp Eyes off of him because I think he's so strong he doesn't need it to cap, even with it giving like plus 50% damage. And the reason I don't like it is that when we're building huge MP on him for his fixed amounts of 150 MP, having to leech an extra 3% that scales off your max MP for that means you're going to have less of these S3s to cast before you're starting to recharge with Goddess Kiss. So, for instance, if you can get him up to 1,000 MP, okay, great, that's like 9 S3s you can do. But if you have Sharp Eyes on, that's going to cost you an extra 30 MP, which means you're probably only going to get like 7 or 8. I don't feel like doing quick math, but you get the point. So like it's less DPS overall, and it's more downtime. So if you can get away with it, I personally like getting rid of Sharp Eyes, but we'll see what we can do. Okay, and that's what we got for here. So overall, it's actually pretty good. Like what you got going on is not bad at all. So I'm curious to see how he ends up performing. I would like to take a look at your support unit and also some of your others in general. So I know you have tank. Have you played around with the other tank at all? Okay.
One, yes.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, you have her 5th enhanced. That's great. She's one of the easiest ways to help your damage get boosted in general. Do you have her? Okay, so Arena Cheers, you'll want to get this. And where's the other one? You have Q Durable Idol. So that's nice. Great. Yeah, show the true power of her stuff. Okay, cool. So you're doing that, right? That's excellent. That's super great. Okay, so you got some basic stuff on there. That seems fine to me. All right, I want to take him in somewhere and just see what kind of damage he's doing, because I'm curious what this does, and then see what we can do after some adjustments, we'll say.
All right.
Let's see. Okay, so you have like story stuff to do too. You're still working through normal mode. Okay, cool. Good stuff. All right. I'm trying to think. What's going to be a good place for us to go test some of these things? Maybe we got like some hard mode. Okay, so we got some God stuff. God's not probably the greatest place for me to test, but neither is this. You know what? I don't know on your account what's good. Actually, no, I know a perfect place to test, because I think that you mentioned this specifically. You haven't been able to beat this guy, right?
Oh.
You should be able to 100% be capping on him. I can almost guarantee we should be able to set you up for your Roy to be able to beat this fight by the time we're done. So let's see if we can do that. So we're gonna put on Roy. I also want to put on Tinkeely. See what we can do there. I'm gonna go without arcs. I won't burn your stuff right away. And we're going to replace Trishula with Salamander. Where's Salamander? Oh, he's gotta be using. Oh, I bet you don't have the thing taught. Nope.
Wait, what?
All right. We're just gonna go in. I need to teach him how to use a sword. So he has access to other weapons instead of just what he has innately. So we're just going to take a look at what your build currently has and like how this is going to work. As a baseline. We'll see how his S3s do, and then we'll see what we can do after we're done here.
Okay.
Okay, so boss. He's weak to fire. Great. Okay, so his crits are capping at 1600, which is good. Kind of expect that. It looks like his non-crits, after a basic debuff is applied, a basic fire down debuff from his S3, after that applied, all his non-crits were capping already. Which is great. Alright, yeah, we know everybody's dying. We didn't really build for the fight, we're just testing stuff. I think his non-crits, though, were probably around, like, 10 to 12k. Which is, like, reasonable. Which is reasonable. Again, this is a pretty specific fight, and he's kind of made to devour this fight, if I'm being quite frank, but we're going to use it as a baseline for testing for now. But we are going to do this. I need to teach him how to use a sword, so I'm hoping that you have an arc where he can learn how to use a sword. I'm really hoping. Okay, there so this here, broken sword here. Sword equipped. Damn it, you're not high enough yet. Can I upgrade this to 10? Is that cool?
If I have the materials, go for it.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you do. Great, yeah, this is worth. Cool. Look at that. Barely even a dent in your resources. Gotta love these common arcs. Beautiful. And you know what? Just for good measure, you have a bunch of extensions. I'm just gonna pump the shit out of this. Just to make it that much easier. Let's see. What kind of math are we working with here? Hold on. Let's see. 600. So I don't need to be super detailed. I think if you've got it up to 30, this should be pretty significant. Oh, I see. Okay. You jacked up Proud Force, so like you're working your extensions well, so that's good. Hey, you love to see it. Well, I love to see it. All right, cool. We're gonna do that. Great. So he's gonna learn that. Since we're running this, we may as well teach some other people some stuff. Let's see what your Tinkeely knows. Magic. So I said we want to work on making people weak to fire in order to like leverage Roy to the best of his ability, right? So, all right, you have God Heal on her. Great. You'd love to see it. These look bad in general. I mean, if you want to use some magic, you use some magic. But yeah, I don't think Tinkeely is a very good magic user. But if it works, it works. Let's see. This type of stuff is really great. I would give her, yeah. I'm going to tweak your Tink. Yeah, I said that right. Okay, yeah. Blazer, great. Never sleep on debuffs in this game. Just so incredibly powerful. This is a minus 20%, but the way damage calculation works, it can take you from getting one shot. Like, we'll see what Pablo does. He instantly killed us before. He might still kill us, but we'll see if we survive a little bit more just with a minus 20% on his strength.
Okay.
Giga Drain or even regular Drain, really great, because same thing, minus 20% when bosses have really, really big stats. It translates to a lot. So, like, usually a minus 20% on a boss translates to more than, like, minus 20% in, like, the damage you're taking. Or more than 20%, like, damage increase. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. We want to teach her weak. That's what we want to teach her. That's what you're missing. You really want weak on your support unit. So we're going to give her that, and luckily that one's super easy. We won't have to teach anything to anybody for that. Shrine of Heresy. Cool. We don't need to waste stuff for any of the rest of these. That's at level 1. Great. What other units are you working on? So we've got Angela already. I mean, do you know off the top of your head anybody that has to learn anything?
Like, other than these three, or?
Anybody in general that you were wanting to be teaching skills to. Because I don't want to waste your event runs if you have something specific you're wanting to teach. But
No, I don't. No one in particular.
Okay. All right. Well, you said that you like to Grog in general. So let's see what kind of stuff you got going on for her. We could probably teach her some more stuff, maybe. Filter, unlearned. Cool. Oh, let's see. What kind of stuff do we want? Ooh, so Besties is going to be really great eventually when you can get this leveled up. You can give that to Roy and some other DPS unit, whether that's Angela, to Grog, whoever you want. And then those two will have plus 15% damage, so work towards that.
Okay.
That will be nice. Sure, these are pretty good. She can work on getting those. There's some good buffs on that. Alright. Good damage and stuff, etc. Alright, we'll get this taught up. We'll get him on Salamander, and we'll see just, like, in general, what kind of difference that makes. That, and then, like, using some debuffs and just see how much closer we get. Okay, so you're capping against weak things, at least, so, like, that's good. I would also assume so, since he's got Human Slayer. But,
yeah,
you know, if not, we'd be in some trouble. But like I said, your build's not actually that bad. It's really not. But we want to get it capping without Sharp Eyes, and right now it is using Sharp Eyes, so goals. Oh, look at that. These are so juicy. I love these training fields. And it's helpful for boosting your AP rates, so it's, you know, the luxury life. Instantly teach all the crap you want. Great. Now we're going to come back over here. I'm going to go in. Great. No support. Yeah, we'll take these off so I'm not wasting your souls. She can go away for now. So we can now do Sword Equip, which means we will also want to give him... this will also enable him to run Sword Boost and Sword Hide Boost. So 2 more sources of damage that you can leverage. Yeah, I'm literally just going to make this change and see where we're looking.
Alright.
So we've got that change. Nice. Oh, we also have the pod, which you didn't have on before, so this is adding to your damage as well. That wasn't in your original build. So that helps. And then Tink now has weak, so you can use weak to be able to boost up damage. Not that he should need it. He should just be capping now, I think. But we'll see. If not, weak will definitely make it so. Because we saw that when his S3 applied a fire defense, or a fire res down, that's minus 20, which is the same as weak. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to start out by applying Blazer. Drop his stuff. Okay, so instead of 10 to 12k, he was 12 to high 13s at base. So that extra 15% coming in. Yeah, I'm guessing there'll still die, but let's just see how this looks. Look at that.
Wow.
Roy lived from a...
crazy.
Yeah, Roy lives just because you used a basic Blazer strength down. We did nothing else. Nothing. So, yeah. The power of debuffs is strong. And you can make like Tink easily survive that too. Like, for sure. Okay. So, the power of having dual element things, we are now capping, which is good. So that's capping. So now he needs MP. You can just start auto attacking. All right, so he's back up to full now. We saw he had some 40s, some 50s, and then a crit that gave him 100 MP back, which means that you can keep on spamming some of these. Okay, he's out. So then let's regenerate some again. Hey, look, he's got S3s back. Great.
What the fuck?
Good. We did almost nothing to your build. Almost nothing. I taught him how to use a sword, and gave him that pod. Like, that's pretty much it. Alright, so we're hitting him. We're going to use our S2s on this guy so that we got him doing stuff. Great. And because of your Proud Force, he's just staying topped up. Like, he doesn't really have to worry too much. Every time he takes a hit, he's just healing back to full. Like, things are working. Things are working. So yeah, then the question will become like, hey, how can we make things more survivable? For one, I could have had Tink put Blazer on both of these guys, and then you can also put on Lamosa, which is minus int, which will reduce their magic damage, which is what just killed us. So again, basic debuffs can be huge. Hey, look, you're missing this treasure chest. Look at that.
Oh.
Ooh, dude, this is actually really good. You put that on Angela. Great. We're gonna transition into Angela. Great. I didn't even know that was there. Fantastic.
Sweet.
Okay. Cool. Let's see if we can find something other than Pablo that can help us with this. Also, I need to find for you... there's 3 key ways for you to drop resistances so that you can make things weak to Roy. So one is the weak debuff, which I just gave to Tinkili. When you have elemental DPS units, this is like the best 3 SC you can spend. You can put this on. It just does a flat minus 20 to every elemental resistance for 40 seconds. Which is awesome.
Okay.
If you can make something be at least minus 5 to fire, Roy's damage is almost always going to cap. Like, it turns on weak point boost, which is a really, really strong power-up. And then in addition to that, when things are weak to his attacks, he has an extra passive that gives him additional attacks for bonus damage on top of the initial damage. Or at least has, like, a chance for it. So making things weak is really, really big. So one source, weak. Second source, we saw when he used his S3, there's a chance that they get a fire res debuff down. I want to say it's like 20%, 30% chance per S3, something like that. But if you're spamming them, they're probably going to get it. So that's minus 40 now that we can have to fire resistance to get them down to negative. The other way is something called Earth Circle. So we've got different circles that exist that... Let's see if I can share screen with you, probably. No, it's... I don't want to mess with some stuff. I'm just going to look it up and read for you exactly what this is. So these are debuffs that you can apply. There's one for every elemental circle, and it's almost like imbuing the enemy with a particular element to make them weak to whatever that element would be weak to. So for instance, Flame Circle, fire types are usually weak to ice, so it applies that fire debuff and makes them minus 20 in their ice resistance. So for Roy, we would want what's weak to fire, which is earth or wind. So we want to apply Wind Circle for an extra 20. And now he could be fighting things with up to 55 fire resistance and still make them weak. If you stack all of these things, which is sick. It's really good. And then, again, it means you do not need Trishula at all. Trishula is just like when you have mobs of enemies and you don't feel like thinking about it or applying debuffs or whatever. Okay, you could just kind of brute force through it and be good. But when you want to like really, really min-max and get your damage output going real good, you make things weak to fire or whatever your unit is doing. So let's see if you have the arc for this, because you may not. Let's see. Survey says you do. So here's another target for you to work towards. Teach this to your support units. So, all the way down here, Wind Circle. Boom. There you go. So, work on getting that. It's great. That's pretty much it. Yeah, work your way up to there. So you can teach that to your people. And then, yeah, you'll be able to fight things with up to 55 fire res. And worst case, if say they're like 70 in fire res and you drop them by 60, so they're plus 10, like you're still going to be doing really good damage, probably still capping with Roy. So like you're going to be looking good. You're going to be doing good. All right. So let's take a peek at him, and I want to see how we're looking without Sharp Eyes. Because we saw, I think we were able to do like maybe 2 or 3 of his S3s on Pablo before we had to regen up, which feels kind of bad. So one of the ways we can boost that, let's sort these by MP and see if we can help that at all. Ooh, this is great. Ooh, so is this, the State Alchemist Pocket Watch, because this will increase his, okay, so this is really, really good, because this is basically helping you against physical and magic attacks. This will at least buff your stats to help with those as well. But it's also going to give you some flat HP, which will scale up your HP increases. And most importantly, MP. Any of the gear you have adds to base stats, which means when you have MP ups, it scales up. So right now, yeah, we'll confirm that, sure. Right now he's sitting at 438, so us adding an extra 50 to him, we'll do the Alchemist Pocket Watch, I think. Yeah. Now he's up over 500, just from that slight little change. And I would argue instead of a little more damage, we could probably just push him with more MP. So we're gonna put this on him too.
Okay.
Great. Now we're getting closer to like 600. Now let's also be mindful, when we were fighting Pablo, we didn't even have an arc equipped. So let's come back in here now. We're gonna come in here. I'm gonna say no, we don't need anything there. You know what? Let's just see what we can find for, like, if we don't need a lot of damage, we could just go for some MP potentially. Swordsman Tail is really good. This is one of your best tools for fighting bosses, which you have level 10, so like I assume hopefully you've been using it. But plus 40% to big bosses is massive. And this isn't a bad amount of MP either. So like this is what I would probably run on Roy for like most of your boss encounters if you're going to be fighting stuff. So we'll throw that on. And for her, oh man, so I assume you've been dipping in and out of the game occasionally, correct, based on your roster of units and stuff? Okay.
Yes.
So if you continue to do that, it's totally fine. Make sure you're on by next Valentine's Day, because there's an arc everybody gets for free called Maiden's Lovely Banquet. It's one of the best support arcs in the game. So yeah, you'll want that. It gives plus 30% cast speed to magic abilities. It has like the biggest MP pool in the game. Gives you a bunch of defense in mind. Some other bonuses as well. It's a beautiful, beautiful arc. So eventually highly recommend. I'm just going to continue to not care if Tink's alive or dead. In fact, we'll just go without her for now. So let's just see what Solo Roy can do with some of these. So we've got these. Oh, give him MP up max as well. So that's something you can do to help him out. I'm going to take off some of these strength buffs. I'm just going to adjust some of these things here. I'm going to start to tweak him a little bit how I would. So another way to boost his damage, if for some ungodly reason you can't cap, which in my experience, Roy's so busted, he can probably cap. If not, these Slayers are the absolute best way to boost your damage. You get this, and then special boost. It's literally 100% increase to your damage. It's the most efficient way to boost your damage. So against Pablo, it's all plants. We would just throw both of these on. You will cap, like 100%. The rest of your build probably won't even matter much, but like you're definitely going to. So in this case, this is what we're going to do. We're going to come down here. I took off Sharp Eyes. We're also going to take off Berserker, even though I normally like it. And you have sustain for it. But I'm going to take it off simply because they're in this fight. The boss tends to use magic that like knocks you up and CCs you. So if you happen to not be doing anything for like 6 seconds, 10 seconds, you're just going to be leeching HP. And if you don't need it to hit damage cap, we might not need this one. So we'll try to not have that. So again, working with what you got. Conversation, this is some occasional HP healing. That could help you to get healed as things are hurting you. So we'll throw that on for this particular build. And then, because we have room, I'm definitely throwing on Surprise Attack and Backstab. And I'll show you the big difference this makes. Because we'll be capping even if we're not behind things. But this affects your physical damage, which means when we're trying to get MP back with regular attacks, it will help our auto attacks as well. Which means maybe instead of hitting for 40 or 50 MP, we're going to be hitting for like 200 MP. So that's the goal, is we want to do a bunch more. So I'll leave Sky High on. It does nothing in this fight, but it's fine. And I could probably honestly add attack raise potentially, but we'll see. Ardor, we're going to say no to that. I'm going to say yes to Pride, just because you don't have a lot of tools, and it's at least a decent-sized stat boost, I guess. These fast buffs I don't care about, because the fight's going to be longer than 40 seconds. Which, again, well, we'll leave them on, because it's your normal build. It's your normal build. I don't want to mess up all your stuff, but this is the type of thing you want to do if you're especially going into endgame boss fights. You're not going to have one build that's just going to, like, face roll the entire game. Like, you want to be able to go in, use the tools disposable to you, or that are accessible to you, and then, like, tweak and cater a build in order to tackle the challenge in front of you. So in this case, you taught him Plant Slayer, you taught him Special Boost, we're going to use those for sure. If he can get some more HP ups, it'll be really, really great. I guess for now, since we have no other place to put it, we'll throw in some more stat buffs, critical up as well, just for some more Proud Force heals. And now with this adjustment and running an arc, let's see how Solo Roy does in this fight. Might not get all the way through to the end, but we'll see how he's looking. Oh, I should have probably thrown on a Blazer debuff. That's a little rip on my part. Oh, well. Okay, so first of all, we'd be out of MP. Instead, we were over half still. Because we have an arc, which is, you know, good in general, but... Okay, and with the arc, we're able to survive even without the Blazer debuff, so that's nice. Healing up pretty quick. Okay, so... so now look at his auto attacks already. When it triggers, over 100 without crits. Pretty good. Pretty good. He's a monster. Especially if things are weak to fire. He's disgusting. Alright, we're here. Alright, we're gonna do that. Alright, I'm gonna see if I can get that guy to come over here. Great. Alright, doesn't look like he wants to move, so we'll just launch these over there. Alright, so I'm gonna do this now. I'm gonna... I'm here. So I'm going to try getting behind this guy if I can, so we get backstab. Oh, it doesn't seem like I'll be able to. Damn. He's at the edge of the map. I can't do it. But see, as we take that damage, now that conversation is occasionally dinging for a heal. Okay, so he moved. If I can get behind him and then get one of these to proc. Okay, so that one, instead of hitting for 100, it was 127 because of the backstab. So, like, even more gains off of that, which is great. And now they're grouped up, so we can just S3. Nice. Dude spawns in over here. Let me go ahead and start auto-attacking. More gains and stuff. Alright. We're going to go ahead and smack him a bit. Alright. So I hit him. I'm going to come over here. We're going to pull some dudes over. You know what? Let's just hit everybody. Why not? Because we can. Okay, so his ult is capping now, which doesn't matter. He doesn't have a very good ult, but, like, we're looking good, though. We're looking good, though. He's taking some damage, but he's doing totally fine. Oh, he's almost down, though. Oh, and back to the heals. Look at that. We're full HP again. We're cutting it close. We're cutting it close, but, like, we're here. Yeah. And look at that. This is your Roy. We made minor tweaks. Minor tweaks to this. Alright, do you want me to back out so you can do this fight on your own? Because I feel like I might be able to just beat this boss solo with your Roy.
I mean, if you want to, go ahead. I don't mind.
I mean, we'll see. Okay, sure. We'll go ahead and... Look at the HP on this boss. God, I love Roy so much. He's so silly. Oh, man. This dude. This dude. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and get some MP. Once he's full, he'll have enough MP for finishing this fight. Look at that. Like 3 autos and he went from 100 MP back up to over 600 again. Again, with Trish, this would not work very well, because 50% of your hits would just suck. Oh no, I'm not going to have enough to finish. Oh, yes! Got it. Nailed it. Aced it. Can't be stopped. Hey, look at that. Pablo's dead. Yay! Now,
that's crazy.
Now, you could have gone to the help channel of Discord and said, hey, can somebody help carry me through the Pablo fight? Instead, this is your own unit. Just crushing it. Easy. Barely an inconvenience. Clear within 7 minutes? No problem. Under 3 solo. Easy.
That's crazy.
He's pretty gross. He's pretty gross. I have not paid attention to chat at all, so I apologize, guys. How you guys doing? So your stream, re-download the game. Oh, that's so awesome, Wingy. Nice. Returning player stopped after the anniversary last year. Oh, okay, cool. Nice. Michael Farrell. Yeah, you want Roy? Everybody wants Roy. He's so good. He's a good boy. Cool. So anyway, Roy's looking better already. But let's see what else we can do. And again, we took off Sharp Eyes. Still capping. Totally fine. Not even close. And without Berserker, too. So, like, we removed 80% damage and still capped with him. With your build. With very free-to-play weapons, too. Like, the stuff we have on him, like the bow and that sword are both, like, super-duper accessible and easy to get. So you can only do better than what you're on right now. So, goals to work towards for him, for gear. Things I like. Let me see your arcs quick, first of all. Alright, this I really love on him. So eventually work on getting this. The passive doesn't matter. This is basically just a massive stat stick. But he gets a bunch of int, which as we know, he does get a little bit more benefit off int. It's also going to give him more mind, which means Proud Force is going to heal up better. And then also, more importantly, this plus 42 to int, again, we added like, what, 200 MP to him by giving him 2 plus 50s in his accessory slots. Something like that. Yeah, we basically doubled the amount of like stuff that you can be throwing. This is just going to help push that further, and it's still fire element, which means he gets all those bonuses just like what we're currently running. So, that's really, really good. Highly recommend. Another one, which is very long time out probably, is Godforge. Have you done anything with Godforge yet? Have you been able to engage with that or not really?
I have. Is that an arc?
No. Okay, I'll show you. I will show you. Okay, so this is another one. Work towards getting this. Again, fire attribute, plus 15 skill damage. So this is very similar right now to what you have with Salamander. So this doesn't matter too much. What it does matter for is eventually, when you get closer to endgame, you're going to start Godforging stuff, which is in the alchemy. You're working on alchemy at least. Your alchemy level's pretty high, so that's good. So Godforge Alchemy. So first of all, Pure Blade. This should be your first Godforge thing. Or Fantasia Cape for Angela, that could be too. But this is just generically one of the most valuable weapons in the game. Really high strength, which is kind of whatever, but still high strength is cool. And then plus 20% physical damage, and it's just neutral element, so it can't be resisted. It's really great. Pretty much anybody that can use swords and does physical damage can just use this and get a huge power spike. Probably compared to every other gear you have. So, working on getting this, really huge. Fantasia Cape, plus 20% damage with some good stats for a mage. Also really good. So, how do you get these? Well, you can see you already have this little sword, and you put a plus 4 into it. That's good. Eventually, you'll have to plus 40 this, so that it can be usable as a piece of gear in here. And then use these things. So, as you probably know, trying to increase things level in that way is not super easy, so you'll have to work on that. But yeah, so this, you just work on getting this all the way to max. I'm not going to use your stuff right now, but yeah. And then you'll also need this, Curse Blade Miramasa. This you can get. The cool thing about that sword is it basically goes from being the worst weapon in the game to, I would argue, the most valuable weapon in the game, just because of how generically powerful it is. And the way you get that is really easy. You can come here. How much money do you have? You've got enough. I'm going to waste a little bit. Is that okay if I use some of your Zell?
Oh yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Okay, cool. Do you auto farm?
No.
No? Okay. Do you know how to auto farm, or does like your phone not support it, or are you just not super familiar with auto farming? Hey, look, Curse Blade appeared in the shop now. Baller.
What the fuck?
So now you have Curse Blade on your account. Like I said, it's really bad. Don't equip it to anybody until you Godforge it into the correct weapon. But you have the materials now, which is cool. So, yeah, you'll have to go in. It's going to be hard. But I believe you've sort of been engaging with tours a little bit, right? Oh, God, I clicked the wrong thing again. So if we come in here, so you at least have some upgrade things. Metal plates is going to be the hardest thing for you. So anytime you see metal plates somewhere in a shop, be sure to grab them. Because they're really high value. So you're going to have to get both of these up to plus 40, and then you can Godforge that thing. And then any of your units that need some damage, you can get those. It might even be, well, yeah, it's arguable that that could possibly be better than Salamander on Roy as well, because since it's physical damage, not fire skill damage specifically, it helps as auto attacks for Goddess Kiss as well. So, even though it's not fire element, it's at least neutral, which means he's going to get all its physical damage bonuses, which is really great. So that's the main thing. Should be good. What are other things for Roy that would be good? If he is going in solo, such as in multiplayer, it doesn't hurt to teach him some of those basic debuffs like I showed you for Tink. It's really easy to just go on and teach Weak for 3 SC, Blazer for 2 SC, and like just having those to just elevate his own damage and then reduce damage taken from the bosses by dropping their strength. That's only 5 SC, and that's probably going to give you more. Again, definitely more than like just adding 5 SC of strength. Like, Attack of 4 just isn't going to do nearly as much as just throwing some debuffs into the kit for some utility. And then you can also help your allies too, which is cool.
Okay.
So, yeah. Anyway, things to do. So get him to 90 SC for sure, so that you got that maxed, because you haven't done that yet. Which surprises me. Like, you have the ability to come in here. You don't have his. You also don't even have him maxed here, which means there's some damage cap you can get there. So be sure to work on upgrading all these. This will be a good HP bump for him for survivability. 70 MP. That's going to be huge. It's going to be really big. Actually, can you get that? No, you can't get that yet. You have some stuff for it, but yeah, you'll have to work on that a little bit. Just a little bit. But either way, if Roy's your main boy, like, you make him 120 out of 120. Get all those upgrades. It looks like you probably just E5'd him recently.
Yeah.
Since like none of those are unlocked, but yeah, so work on doing that for sure. Why was it? Okay, so Hugo, why was I clicking S3 even when I was out? Oh, okay. So that's a thing specific to Roy, Hugo. So you don't really have to worry about it. 2 units in the game, well, 2 that matter, have a very special skill called Alchemy. And basically, it lets you, if you're out of skill charges, it lets you consume MP so that you can use skills instead. So that's what's going on there. It's a very specific unit. It's really, really broken. But yeah, if you don't have Roy or Ed from the Full Metal Alchemist collab, you don't have to worry about it. Okay, so that's cool. Tips in general for tank. Yeah, you can build up some more MP, which is cool. I don't think there's really a ton that you necessarily need to do, if I'm being quite honest. Tink, as long as she can ult, I would recommend you at least getting her other trait, like I said, Arena Cheers. What that's going to give you is, on wave start, gives you your entire team a plus 20% physical damage buff, which is nice. It's basically her unique magic, her manga exciter, but it's at wave start, so you don't have to take the time to cast it, which is nice. And then additionally, what it will give is a 3k cap to your entire team at wave start. So instead of Roy hitting for 1800, he's going to cap for 2100. So it's pretty okay. It's pretty okay. Yeah. So do that. Oh, damn, you got plus 20 on her? That's sick. That's so awesome. Mine's not even plus 20 yet. Very nice. So yeah, do that. And then when she ults, basically any of your units are going to have a much easier time capping, not just Roy. Roy shouldn't have much trouble now. If you're fighting things that have too much fire res, come into Roy and you can put Trish back on him. That's fine. Or like if you're just going through general multiplayer lobbies, you can put Trish on him just to be lazy and be like, hey, this is working fine. We're doing stuff. But yeah, if you can make things weak to fire, take Trish off, give him double fire weapons. It's a great time. Now, any questions on Roy? I guess I didn't really make any other build recommendations. I mean, he's kind of set up. He's kind of set up. What other stuff could he have that would be really beneficial? Let me see what I run on my Roy real quick. I haven't actually run him in a little while. So let's see. Hopefully I didn't have him on some janky build that was silly. But let's see what I can find to potentially help. Lots of stuff similar to you now. We got some MP ups. Oh, I didn't finish talking about the claw and why that matters. So I talked about the one Godforge thing you can get. The other Godforge thing. The reason to get the claw from that arc is there's another one of these you can build. That's... Oh, you're not even high enough alchemy yet, probably. You're gonna have to get your alchemy up. But basically there's a fire claw. By the time you plus 40 it gets over 400 strength, which is fine. It's pretty good. It's pretty okay. It gives you... basically its effect is plus 30% fire damage. And then if you plus 40 it turns into plus 40%.
That's crazy.
It's gross. It's so good. So, yeah, you can do that. But for now, that's a thing. Teach Roy Sword High Boost, for sure. Do you have one of these parties that's just, like, for learning stuff?
Yeah, I have a ton of them. I have a lot of units where I'm just, like, trying to get them to learn.
Okay. Do you have one of these slots, though, that's, like, for teaching? Is this for teaching? This looks like it's for teaching. Maybe? Possibly.
Oh, wait, this, like, the third party,
Yeah, I don't know.
Yes and no. Maybe. I usually just run it as, like...
Oh, okay, that's just, like, your team. Your actual team. For the most part. Okay. Just trying to kind of set up some of these things here. Hopefully it's fine that I hijack Senku.
No, it's totally fine.
Okay, so we're going to filter by default because I know how to look for stuff then. So yeah, Sword High Boost. Teach him this, give him Sword High Boost. That'll be great. Love it. And we'll work on finding some stuff for Angela. So let's look at your Angela and see how she's doing.
Ooh, she's doing bad.
She's doing bad. Okay, Heaven's Cry, not bad. It's a really good stat stick. I'm not mad at it. Okay, not bad. Yeah, that's not the worst. That could be far worse. Let's see here. So, got her on plus MP. Not bad. Not bad. What else can we do? I mean, this is just sort of a stat stick, but it kind of works. Might be marginally beneficial, but yeah, I don't hate what you have on her. Could be much worse. Cultist Pendant should be on her. 100%. This will make her instant cast, or at least almost instant cast on all of her stuff. Were you using... Okay. I don't know if you were using Lukiel for much at the time, or before, but... I don't know.
No, it's fine.
Okay, cool. Fine. Yeah, she's not much of a mage. It's good. I would say Mark of the Existent is pretty good on her, probably, just because her spells can be really expensive, especially against bosses, so having a 10% chance to just not use stuff is good. So, that's something. Oh, what else do you got that could be good? Just for stats, Sorcerer's Ring is fine. Yeah, I'm going to say this is probably pretty good. Write down, I would say if she's going to be a pure mage, which usually you want, you could look up Elder Mask. That's something that you could put on her. It just has a fat amount of resistances and int on it. If you're having trouble hitting damage cap, Nightmare Hat will help with that we just got. This is consume 25% extra MP, but do 25% more damage. So that's something we can do. So let's take a look quick at, I'm going to remove this, and we're just going to go in just like we did with Roy, and just see what she looks like, and then we're going to make some tweaks and see how our adjustments look. Cool? Yep. All right. We're going to try against, you know what, let's just try Pablo again. Now, I believe he resists magic really hard, so she might not do great. We'll see how it goes. This, and what kind of arcs do you got? Int. Let's see. Look back here. That's fine. That's fine. Stuff's all fine. Not overly impressed. Unfortunately, there's just not a lot of good arcs. Institute of Magic, this is one of my favorite ones to just throw on a generic mage, so leveling this up to just use could be good. I wouldn't hyper prioritize it over other stuff if you need skills and stuff, but that could be a good one to get eventually to level up. Another one for mages that's really good is Altar of the Forbidden Book. It's only an SR, but you lose 20% of your max HP every time you cast a spell, but it costs 50% less MP. So for sustaining magic over time, it could be really helpful, and then it also gives you a buff to your damage, which is cool. So it's not maxed out, so I won't probably use that. We'll just use Lugmekia, I suppose, for now, because it's there. And actually, you know what? Let's do what we did with Roy, and we're just not going to use an arc right away. We'll just see how she does. She's over 2k int anyway, which is cool. But we'll see how her stuff goes. 13's here. How you doing, man? Not even going to bother answering your question because I know how you do. Alright, so on her. So she's got all the stuff. Oh, you haven't even taught her all the spells. Or maybe she just doesn't know it. Okay, cool. So she's going to have to learn a better spell. Let's see what Exploder does at least, because we can look. So it took a little while to cast that. She's hitting between 7 and 8k. Yeah, she's going to get hard nuked, which is fine. Guessing she has a revive. That's hitting for some damage and stuff. Exploder. Cool. Alright, so hits for amounts of damage.
Yeah.
Seems reasonable. Again, it highly resists magic, so it should be a little harder to cap against, but we should be able to do it. So let's go ahead and come back in here. Now I want to see how far out are you? Is she a bit of a priority for you to like get upgraded, or is she kind of backseat compared to a bunch of other stuff?
I would say she's pretty up there with Roy, actually.
Okay, cool. Then let's see about getting you your other spells at least. Blaze Wall. Okay, so you need some clusters for that one. I assume you probably need some clusters. Dragon Geyser. Such a random skill she has. Okay, you can get Thunderstorm, so that's cool. You need the fire one for that. So, was I able to get Alice? Nope, was not. Luck was not on my side this day. Alright, we're going to come in here. We're going to look at her equips. We're going to put Cultist back on. Great. And I suppose we can do Nightmare Hat. That'll boost her damage now, so that'll be cool. Let's see what you have for skills. She's got magic equipped. Cool. You love to see it. Boop. Oh, you have Honey Elixir on your account. That's going to help you a lot in general. Units like DeGrogue that you like, she'll really, really like this being able to get used on her. Basically, anybody but Roy that does physical damage is really happy you have this on your account. So,
okay.
Do you know in general, like people talk about Honey Elixir in the Discord and like all over stuff in general. Do you understand why it's powerful, or what's good about it?
I don't really understand why it's powerful.
Okay, cool. We'll get to that as well then. So here's my plan. I need to make a game plan because I'm gonna keep getting distracted. I'm having fun with this. I was gonna try to keep this to an hour and hard cap myself at maybe 2 hours, but we'll see how we're doing. Do you have a particular time frame that you're working with for like being on here and chatting and stuff? Just so I know. I don't want to take up your entire night or anything like that. You know.
No. I planned for... We're good.
Cool. All right. So this is going to be my plan for right now. We're going to do Angela. We're going to look at Angela. Cool. We're going to then look at DeGrogue, at least like basics, and then just like showcasing Honey Elixir and like how that works. And how you can leverage that with someone. And then we can look at tour stuff. So Honey Elixir can come after, because we should get a variety of stuff, not just unit builds. Just in case we do run out of time. So we've got tour stuff. We can look at Crimson quick. Alright. I have been lucky 13. But don't worry, I'm working on getting up to another 10 pull. It's certain to have Alice in it, don't you worry. Okay. So, Crimson stuff. What else do we got here? Conqueror. And... Yes. Okay. We're going to do Angela, then we're going to bounce around to some of this other minor stuff real quick, and then we'll come back after we see how those are going. So, skills, let's see here. Got some MP ups, great. Got all the int ups, great. So, what I said for physical damage dealers, these attack ups don't really matter much. Not true for magic, because magic doesn't have nearly the amount of like damage multiplying tools that physical does. So jacking your int as high as possible is really good. So you want to be doing that. So this is great. You can give her magic up 2 as well. You should have access to it. I think it's probably on a low tier arc. Critical stuff shouldn't matter. Probably. I understand you're not hitting cap yet, so like again, like Roy, probably doesn't matter, but this is room for improvement. You don't need these at all. You don't need to build crit on her, anything like that, unless you're just wanting passive Proud Force, heals. Then like, sure, it could be something, but overall, I don't think it matters. Let's see here. You have Proud Force on her at least. Crit up 1, also not that efficient, so like replacing this crit up 2, if you want that passive sustain, works. And she has auto crit to work with it, so that's nice. Let's see here. Again, Ardor, for the same reason as Roy, we shouldn't need it. Pose of Honor you absolutely want. Anybody that needs MP always put Pose of Honor on, so definitely have that. Just like Roy, it's only 3 SC, so having a little bit of extra passive sustain with conversation isn't bad if there's room in the build. I don't hate it. Just minor amount of healing. Spell linkage is great. I think that's excellent. No issues with that. Robe boost, may as well use it because it's a minor damage boost when you have none otherwise. So big misses. Staff high boost is not here. So if you have an arc for that, that's something to get on her. If you're doing a particular type of fight, using the proper elemental boost is good. So for instance, against Pablo that we were just in, easy put on fire high boost to make that better. Let's see what else. Yeah, so for other stuff that's in here, not much. Teach her Moonlight, just like what you had on Roy.
Okay.
So give her Moonlight, just because, again, if we can have efficient ways to boost up that int stat, it's going to help your damage. And she should be able to stay topped up, especially when you're running some Proud Force stuff. So that's good. What other stuff could we do? You could give, if you happen to have room, you could potentially do Robe High Boost. It's a small other bonus, but they're not that efficient overall. But they have the luxury of also boosting her mind, which means your Proud Force passive healing is going to be a little better, so that could be worthwhile overall. What other stuff do you want on a mage? Let me see here. Eventually getting some HP increases is definitely helpful on all your units. You just don't have access to much right now. Do you know what the highest floor in tower you've gotten to is?
I haven't touched tower in, I think, since it came out.
Oh, feels bad. Feels bad, man. Well, I definitely, if you're going to be playing the game more, always watch, and anytime tower's here, get as high as you can. It's just recurring rewards. Like, it's literally free gems. And then you can sort of have a litmus test for your power to be like, oh, the last time I made it to floor 26, this time I made it to floor 42. Great. And then you can sort of see that gauge until you get to the top, and then you need different ways to measure your progress. But tower otherwise is like a really good way of measuring your account and like game knowledge progress. So I highly recommend everybody in the game, no matter how weak your account is or how new, every time Tower of Trials is around, always go in and do the best you can and just see where you get, because you're always going to do better the next time it comes. And it's free rewards, so like, just do it. All right. I mean, the good news, she's got plenty of room for SC, so like she could do a lot. HP at max, I love. The three best things for boosting HP as far as efficiency goes is HP at max, HP at 4, and then HP plus 2. HP plus 2 comes from the Tower of Trials arc. So if you manage to beat floor 80, you get an arc. Its top tier skill is HP plus 2, which gives you a flat 1000, which means it adds to your base and then scales up with your other increases. So really, really efficient. So those are the three that I usually try to add to units if I want to just make them tankier. Other things you can do to just help her out probably is, and other units as well, when you're doing things like using Proud Force, if you can teach Fast Metis, which is a 40-second mind buff, fast Protection, fast Magic Aura, if you happen to have access to it, or not Magic Aura, fast Magic Barrier. Those are like minus 20% to physical damage, minus 20% to magic damage. They only cost 2 SC each to throw on, so if you have room in a build to make them a little tankier by adding that stuff, it doesn't hurt. Oh, she has auto protect, so fast protect won't matter, but either way, you get the point. Oh, my stream's lagging a bit. That's sad. Thanks, 13. I don't know if there's anything I can do for it, but hopefully. Let's see, I'm going to get rid of some of this other crap to try to help out my internet bandwidth a little bit. Hopefully help some things out. Okay, so we adjusted some things, added the boost for the damage type that we're wanting. I'm removing some of this other stuff because I don't think I really need it. Well, I guess you can use it, because why not? yeah, nothing else really huge that I think you're missing. Staff high boost, like I said, will be a good one. And then getting the proper magic skills. I don't think there's a better staff for you right now. Just like having a stat stick is probably fine.
Okay.
Good one that you could work towards, though, that would help her out is... Let's see. Also from... Oh, jeez. This sorting doesn't work. There we go. Again, Aldana Institute. This one's pretty good. So it's got some int. Doesn't have any MP, unfortunately, but whatever. But then it also has a flat plus 15% to these types of magic. It doesn't hit all of her stuff, though, so it's not perfect, but it's fine. It's there. It helps with those elements, at least, so it's pretty good. As a generic option, you're not going to get much better than what you currently have her on, unfortunately. There's a Godforge one that you could get that would work further up, but you're too far away for that to matter. I'm not even going to tell you to chase it, so it doesn't. It's just not going to matter. So let's go ahead and at least see where she's at now, because she was only hitting like 8k, I think, with Exploder.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah. So let's at least see what she's looking like now. I don't think we changed a ton, but like there's some there. Now she instantly casts it for 1, almost double damage now. So, yeah, hitting for 14 and 15k now. So that's good. Ancient Cursed. Again, we can do that instantly since we switched over to using Cultist Pendant. Oh no, she's dead. What are we going to do? I want to see the numbers. Let me see those numbers. Dang it. Ancient Curse. Okay. And she's dead anyway. Son of a bitch. That's alright. Either way, the main thing was seeing the fire one. So, definitely adding the fire boost helped a lot. She should be able to do fine without, but that Fantasia cape is going to be massive for her damage. So, like, that's going to be the biggest spike that you can work towards, I think, is getting Fantasia cape from the Godforge. Again, it's future goals. It's going to take you a little bit to get there, but it's very, very worth your time. And then among these, Mindscape, you're already working towards this. Staff high boost.
Yeah.
That she can use a lot. That's going to help her out immensely. The other MP ups will be really good. And then, let's see, I think... Let's see where this is. Flower of Falnia. Okay, so MP up max, this is for your Roy, so you can get that to him. You can get this upgraded. And then Moonlight's here as well, so you can teach that to Angela while you're at it. So, great. Yeah, the thing that I like to see in general is, like, you have a pretty wide variety of arcs that are leveled, which is really great. And, like, I come to some accounts and, like, they're completely sleeping on, like, low rarity stuff. But, like, you're going out and getting stuff that you need that's important, and it's easy to come into your account and be like, oh, hey, here's a thing, here's this other thing. And, like, most of this stuff isn't very far out of reach for you, which is really great. Yeah. So, nice. All right, I don't think I have much else for Angela without, like, diving too deeply into some other weird, ambiguous stuff. So I think that's pretty much it. Try to get Fantasia Cape. Definitely get Staff High Boost. That will help her out a lot. Unlock her other spells to help out with your damage. Most definitely. Oh, actually, let's see. Just as a decent showcase of how this might help. So we had her on a fire spell. We're just gonna come here. Oh, she already has Stun Gust. Those plants are also weak to earth. Not just fire. Not just a fire. So you can actually use those spells instead. And then for when things are weak to earth, there's some other things that you can do, which is called Sandworm. And for if you're ever dealing earth damage, Sandworm is the best thing in the world for mages. It gives you plus 50% damage. Okay, so she's about 10 on that, which means it would be even higher with some other stuff. Yeah, not too bad. Okay. But again, that's without like an Earth High boost, which you can give her in order to make that better. And again, this boss also highly resists this type of damage. So I'd imagine if you go to fight some normal stuff, she can probably be capping, or at least close to it as it is, as long as you're hitting weaknesses. But yeah, staff high boost will help. Write down also, Elder Mask will be really good, probably, at least for damage, and also some damage mitigation. You buy that out of a shop, I think it's probably like 2 to 4 million, so like it's expensive to get eventually, but you know, just something to do down the road. It's a nice piece of gear. It basically, I think it's like 120 int, and like plus 10 to all the elemental resists, or like the basic elements. So that's basically a minus 10% damage to all those types. And then the negative is you can't use skills, like it just locks them completely. Which for a mage, you don't use your skills anyway because they suck. So it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
So you're good. Okay. Before moving on to some other things, let's take a look and just kind of knock out some of these basic questions that you had, or more basic stuff. So Conquer. All right. So you have a bunch of your slots. I'm gonna go ahead and collect those for you. Great. Don't have these. That's fine. I don't think that's a big deal. You asked who to prioritize in Conquer.
Yes.
You prioritize whoever you need souls for. So, like, what I would consider you needing souls for is if you're not 90 SC on a unit and they're, like, in your main team, cool, they should probably be in here, because then you can do that, especially if you don't have Mother Souls to use to get them up to 90 SC. If you're not Awakened 4 yet, probably worth doing, just for, especially because you're working on, like, getting your power level up there, so at least getting to Awaken 4 on each of your units is probably worth. So if you're not Awakened 4 yet, that's a reason to put them into a Conquer slot. I wouldn't say things like Awaken 5 and 6 or trying to get a unit's ward unlocked. Like, that stuff isn't really a reason to take up a Conquer slot. So if you have a different unit that you care about that needs stuff more than that, like to get their SC unlocked, they get that slot over those other things. Because, like, Awaken 5 and 6 and wards, they could literally not exist in the game and it doesn't affect you really at all. Like, it's just some extra crap. So, minor bonuses. So, yeah, go for that. Getting your SC maxed out so you can build out a full kit is great. And then basic Awaken up to 4, generally pretty good. So, soul spots. Yeah, I mean, you want to get these upgraded, but, like, you're at least getting up there. Oh, you never upgraded this one. Ha!
I just unlocked that one.
You just unlocked it. Okay, great. So, yeah, do that. Put all your Zell into that. I'm just going to do that for you while we're here.
Right.
But it looks like you're doing great. Normally what I try to tell people when they're on newer accounts is, like, try to get your blues at least up to, like, level 9 or 10. Get reds at least up to, like, 6 or 7 before you start upgrading arcs and stuff. Since you've been in the game longer, I mean, you've been able to upgrade much more than that. So you're up higher. You're not maxed yet, but, like, you're doing good. These are some good ranks in my eyes. There's one more red spot you can get as well, so you can work on getting that eventually. This can get upgraded, but I won't do that because in case you got, like, arcs you're working on or something. I mean, that's probably worthwhile. There you go. So yeah, that's cool. Oh, before we do some of the other stuff, I briefly touched on auto farming. Are you opposed to auto farming? Whether it's, like, just running the game on your PC or your phone, like, overnight or while you're at work or something? Is that something that, like, you're just not comfortable with? Or you're just not familiar with that process? Or, like, the gains you get?
At least in this game, I'm not too familiar with it.
Okay, but if we could set you up for it, just so you know, the way that the auto farming works is you basically need to leave the application on and, like, opened, and then you can let things run, and then you get passive resources as your units are running through stuff. Is that something that you feel like you'd benefit from learning about, or do you not think that you would engage with that?
I think that would actually help a lot.
Okay, cool. That will help your quality of life more than anything else I could teach you, probably. So I definitely will try to do that, to try to help set you up for that. And Angela will be able to help you do that. Actually, you might be able to do it right now, which would be super sick. So since we were already talking about Angela, let's see how close you are to doing some of that. Okay. I'll want you to upgrade this at some point. Oh, this is only level 7. Okay, we're just doing this. we're doing this so that you have an auto farm when we're done here. We're doing this. Yep. Great. Cool. Love it. And then we're going to take one of these, because you don't really need them for anything else. We're going to put one boost into that. I'd probably recommend putting the other boost into a Nula Mouth when you get to it, because that's a great skill to give to people later. Right now, nothing to worry about, but it's fruit for thought for later. We're going to come in here. We're going to run another one of these training dungeons real quick, like. Because I want this done for you. That's going to be... Oh, that's going to feel good. Let's see. Venom Dragon. Great. Oh, that's not what I wanted there. I apologize. You'll have to put her proper arc back on. Whatever. I'll fuck up some of your stuff, but you're going to have some net positives here, so I don't feel bad about it. Okay. Let's, maybe we can teach Tink some more stuff. Oh, she doesn't know Lamosa. Could do Lamosa. More debuffs. I love me some debuffs. So let's see here. Actually, teaching her HP at max might not be bad either. So
yeah, I thought that the nighttime Tinkerly was for all the debuffs.
She is. She absolutely is. She's super duper good for debuffs. But this tank is the best offensive buffer in the game. And so if you can also just teach her some basic debuffs, it really helps. Now, you can totally use the other tank as well, and use her. I'm not knocking it, but I don't have her, so I'm not as familiar with all of her capabilities. So, yeah, okay. Don't think me focusing on Tink means, like, just don't use the other Tink, because the other Tink is great. She can really help with some stuff. Like, if we took Dark Tink in, and she used her, like, High Blazer on Pablo, you would have survived even better than, like, just the basic one that we used. So, like, the other Tink totally has her place, and she's going to be really good. But may as well set it up so that if you need damage boosts from, like, Tink, at least you can teach some stuff with that. Though this is a big boost. We're just going to teach her HP up max. That seems nice. All right, we're going to do that quick. Let's see here. Looks stable right now. Okay, cool. Thanks for the update on that. Appreciate it. Have you beaten the new world boss? Have I? Oh, the Kraken? No, I haven't even tried. I just haven't felt like it. I've been too lazy. Oh, jeez, I've got like a stray hair falling down here. What the fuck? Pull that back. Alright. But yeah, I'm pretty confident I can beat the world boss, though. We've beaten hard Krakens before. I know this one's probably a little bit different, but I'm not really too worried about it. Okay, he'll need some more to get Sword High boost up, but that's fine. She's got Venomous Rainfall because I boosted it. Score. Alright. This is what we're going to do. I would wager with how strong Angela is, you can just auto-farm right now, which is sick. This is the place to go. Groggia Mountains. Oh, you're not far enough. Damn. Focus on hard mode, not normal, for right now.
Okay.
Here's the goal. Imperial Guard Commander 3. You want this on hard mode. It's the best place to auto-farm in the game, basically. So it has a very similar drop pool to this, except it also has green and blue clusters, and then some other stuff. Okay. Basically, you can insta-clear it. If you have your Angela built right, which she should be, it shouldn't take too much. You can take off all her magic. Just give her, well, you know, here, I'll just show you a different example one. I'm sure I can, well, we'll just do this. That's fine. So this is what you'll do. I don't know what Gorm was doing here, but we'll put this on. We'll say this is your auto farm team. So we're going to say you want to work towards some ether rewards. I told you some things that are good to be able to get, such as that staff for Roy is pretty good. Could also be used on Angela if she's fighting something weak to fire. So let's grab that. Where's Starry Calamity? Why am I blind? Why am I blind? Dude, I know it's right here. Oh. Here. Unlearned only. because she already knows all these things. That's why. Now I should find it. There we go. Okay, cool. All right, so we need Ether Progress because we want the reward. Great, so we're going to come in here. We're going to drop this to level 1, so we're not using many souls. 7 souls per run. Great. Love to see it. Other slots. We're going to drop in some units that we need to level up, maybe. Yashimaru. He needs to be max level at some point. We'll level him up. Do you have XP up? Some sort of XP up. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to filter for your gear. Hopefully you have one of these. Yes, great. Basic XP received increased buff. Nice.
Okay.
So he's going to get some extra XP. Somebody else you want leveled up. When we talk about getting levels, I'm going to care mostly about things that aren't level 100, because to me, levels only matter so far as allowing them to E5 for stuff locked behind there. I'm going to say maybe Lukiel. Unless you want, I guess Prim or Senku or Nero could be options too, if you want any of them. I don't know. I just know Lukiel will eventually pay off, just because there's an endgame boss that she helps with, and then she's just a good tool anyway. So I'll do that for now. You can change that if you want. And then we're going to put 2 more things in here. So for instance, we'll do, how about Phoenix Blow? I said that you want this claw eventually for Roy. Cool. Let's progress it. What other stuff do you got? This. Okay, Pirate Ship. You already have some good progress on Pirate Ship. We're going to progress that as well. Then Angela can get the Thief Bangle, which will give you a 10% chance to steal. So she can use that while she's auto-farming, get you just a tiny bit more bonuses. So, great. This is now set up to do some stuff. Magic. We're going to unequip everything so that her AI can't be stupid. And we're going to give her Venomous Rainfall. Because this, so she already has Dark Magic. Dark Force as a whole is a far better spell. However, it's pointed damage in an area. This is the entire board. So this is going to be way better. It's going to wipe the board. And then plus on this, without getting too deep into AI, a magic user wants to see a weakness to the magic that they cast. So if you go in and, like, you could say, hey, Ancient Curse, that'll kill everybody, sure. But the AI just might not cast it because it might not realize it wants to cast it. Or maybe you have, like, Shining Zoc on some unit, the light one, and nobody's weak to light. Your mage might just never cast a spell, period, because nobody's weak to light. The enemy that's, like, straight directly in front of the pack is weak to dark. So usually dark is, like, the most reliable element for farming this stage. So then what you do, you now have this set up. You have your main farmer for right now, which is a mage. She's going to use Venomous Rainfall because it's the quickest clearing spell in the game. The time to animate in and then do the damage and end, you can get clears of like 4 seconds, which is really good. I try to tell people if you can be under like 10 seconds, you're looking real nice. But it's pretty easy for most accounts to get to like 4 to 6 seconds. And with select like limited stuff, you can get closer to like 1 and 2 seconds. But for most general pool things, and from what I see on your account, 4 seconds is probably the goal. So now all you do, you come in here, you do auto run. You can actually turn off energy saving. For some reason, I'm told this actually tanks your performance, which means it can actually cause errors as you're loading between matches. So I'm actually told to turn that off. But then you can turn these ones on. Battery saver, cool. Rematch support. When you do rematch support, what this will do is it will automatically bring in a friend unit with you every match, which means you'll passively get friend points as well, which is great because friend points are a really, really strong resource in this game, which if you're not 200 slots on your friends list, do it and then get 200 friends. Yeah, there's ways to do that. You can post to Reddit or post to Discord or whatever. All right, then I hit run. So now what this will do, this will go in and it's just going to be on full auto. This runs with like a dimmed light and stuff. You can turn it off by hitting this button. Just so you can see, I'll turn it off because it'll light the screen back up. But you'll see she's going to see somebody weak. She's going to instantly cast her dark spell. It's going to animate in. And everything's going to die. And she's capping at 28k. So you'll do this exact thing. And you'll just run this on repeat overnight or while you're at work or whatever. And then when you come back, you're going to have a bunch of Zell, you're going to have XP on your units, you're going to have a bunch more blue and green crystals, which you can then use alchemy to convert over to like blue and purple crystals. You're going to have unit souls, because every time you complete a hard stage, you have a chance to get 1 unit soul. So instead of just conquering, you get it from this too. There's probably more benefits I'm not thinking of. But yeah, auto-farming this stage on hard is like a gold mine. It's so good. I think usually when I run it overnight, if I have good enough clears, I average like 3 to 4 million Zell every day. So yeah, like it's really good depending on how long you run it. And yeah, so you just do that. So look for wherever you're at on hard mode and get that all the way up. It is 310. 310 will bring you back to this. So right now, your hard mode is only on the first time you get to Groggy Mountains, which is 2-3. So get all the way around the map, wherever that is. Get up to 310, except on hard mode. And start auto-farming that. You have a team set up. It's in your slot 1. It's a good place to start.
Okay.
So yeah, that's going to be huge. It's going to change your life. It's such good quality of life to have that auto-farm working. So, good stuff. I'm going to receive this for you. Cool. What else do we got? Soul spots. Yeah, collect all that shit. Trading space. Oh, tours. We can talk about tours quick. Okay, Groggy Mountains. Oh, these aren't even running. Rip. You should definitely be minimally engaging with tours as much as you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. Any amount of progress is better than nothing. You're at least in zone 2, which is cool. So, like, you've done something. I'm not mad at it. This is a massively long grind, like, as you've probably noticed.
Yeah.
And it feels almost useless, which is fair. But the bright thing is these last 2 zones, especially this final one, are extremely lucrative and make the probably like 6 to 12 month grind to get there worth it. So it's pretty passive to like progress these things. You just come in like once a day, restart it. Try to just check what conditions are for completing, and like you'll be looking pretty good. So let's take a look at this one. So we're going to come in here. This says greatly succeed at 7 tours with the unit with 20 dark resistance or more. So at a bare minimum, what you want to try to do is have all 5 of your slots contain a unit with at least 20 dark res, so that if they happen to get a great success, you progress this quest. So I assume you're already doing that since you have 5 of 7 at least. So let's see here. I assume Melza has it. Yeah, so Melza's got it. Great. So now question is, how do we make these better? Because right now you have a 10% great success chance and a 1% grand success chance. So like that's pretty low odds of progress. So if you want to spend more time than this, I'd say this is your bare minimum engagement. You do this, you're looking good. But if you want to do better and focus on it, you look at this magnifying glass here. And this tells you what you actually want. So snipers, beasts, units that can equip units that can equip axes, people with plus 30 thunder res, or that are nil to illness or curse. All these things give you bonuses.
Okay.
So if I come in here, instead of Lukiel, Roy's a sniper. So DeGrogue has a plus 2 already, which means she meets some of that criteria. So let's go ahead and click DeGrogue, and if I change suitability on, she is currently nil to blind and illness, which we can see here. So she gets a plus 2 off that. So, we could say, it also wants you to equip an axe. Can we do that? No, she doesn't have axe equip. But if you go and say in here, you could equip an arc, such as, I mean, you can go into like the, this is a place you can use those training fields too. If you just don't know something to teach people, just teach random skills, like how to equip stuff, because like that's something that's potentially powerful too. Miracle of the Gourd. So here, we could put this on. Look at that. You got plus 80 in this shit. Look at that. That's beautiful. You love to see it. Granted, I can't tell if that's actually an axe or a hammer. Not going to lie. I think that's a hammer. It looks like it should be a hammer. Hold on. That's going to bug me now. Let's see here. Axe. Oh, yeah. Axe is clearly an axe. Not even close. It's not a double-headed axe. So, okay, it is just hammer. So, yeah, you could come in here, give it that, and then she can learn how to use a hammer. And then if you equip the skill Hammer Equip, this jumps up to a 3. So just putting her in here, we now have a 3% chance and a 14% great success chance. So let's see what else we can do with some of these other ones. So Roy, he is a sniper, therefore he meets that condition. Well, let's see where he's at with blind and illness. So he's already resistant to illness. So how about we come to his equips real quick, and let's filter for things that give illness. Sweet. Let's give him this. Or we could even give him Cursed Ring, which will give him some blind resist too. So now if we come in here, now he's resistant to blind, and he's there. So you know what? Let's come in here then. In his other side, let's see what you have that makes things resistant to blind. Cool. Something that covers his eyes makes him less blind resistant. So, oh no, hold on, that's blind now. Let's do this. So blind resist, great. So he was +1. Now we're going to back out. Now he's +3. And now we're up at a 20% success chance.
Oh, wow.
Baller. That sounds great. You love to see it. So none of these are really super close to +30 thunder resistance. But I mean, DeGroke's kind of close-ish. Let's see if there's any armor she can equip that bumps up thunder resist. It looks like probably not. So that's not going to help her at all. But how about some of this stuff? Do you have any gear, maybe? Do you have any of this stuff? Can she get +20? That's the real question here. So you can get 10 off of this and 10 off of this. So we can get 10 here, and then we can get 10 here. So now instead of the +2 she has +30 now, so now you have 2 +3s. Nice. So that's what you do. You look to see where units are, kind of how close they are, and if they can meet any of these conditions as much as you can. Which can get really tedious, which why I said minimal engagement is like good enough. But if you are willing to spend the time to look through and try to play this game, you can do that. And this is also a case of where mimicries are actually super valuable, because it cares about sniper. So if you can teach sniper or beast mimicry to a unit, or both of them, that's +2 to that unit if you have both of those mimicries on.
That's amazing.
Yes. So that's where some of this stuff comes in. So it's up to you to kind of look and see who has maybe a good base point, who's close to meeting conditions, and then balance your gear amongst them. All the gear in Tours is independent of everywhere else in the game, so you're not going to mess up your builds in here. You can literally make them the worst things ever. It doesn't matter. It's literally to just meet Tour conditions. So yeah, there you go. So that is far better than some of your other ones that you had going on. So then let's see what some of these are. So she's already 20 dark resistance. So that works. And so is she. So since there's 2 here, do you know for a fact that you have a +20 in each of these categories already?
I think so. I think there should be at least one in every...
Okay. Okay, this one doesn't, which is good. So that's why I didn't start that one. Okay, so here we can do that. We'll swap in Angela. So now you have one here. You have one in the one above it. Down here, I assume one of these she's probably. Okay, so Tink's there. You had her. She isn't in there. But Tink is, so we can just use this Tink.
Weird. Yeah.
Look at that. Great. So that's there. And then, so all these have a chance. If any of them become great, you just need 2 of them, and then you're through this challenge, and then you can see what comes next. And I know for a fact 9S is great. He's got like 40 dark res. It's ridiculous. So yeah, you're good there. Cool. So all of these could potentially progress your quest, which is what matters. So yeah, that's how you can better optimize some of this stuff. Do you want me to start these as they are, or do you want to go in later and try to like buff some of these up?
Just might as well start them now.
Just start them? Cool. There you go. Beautiful. So does that kind of answer your questions and open your eyes on how tours work a bit?
God, yes.
Awesome.
Shit, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it can be kind of a fun little mini game, and it makes you value things a little bit more. Like if we get free gear that often could be like, oh, this is like +2% physical damage, or like, oh, it gives like 10 int, I would never use this, but maybe it has like blind and poison resistance on it, and it's like, okay, well in tours I might could use that, you know? So it adds value to crap you don't care about. And same with units. Like sometimes you just need to have a sniper, and like, hey, OG Lilibet, Fall, So, like, you could use those. They have the innate +1. They might also have some blind resist or something, or illness resist. Like, you could potentially have these old units be way easier to hit big numbers on than some of your newer units. So, yeah, it's cool that it just adds some value to those things. Okay, cool. That stuff's great. Crimson Shop. Let's talk about that real quick. This one's going to be a little bit subjective to what you value in the game. But first of all, nice. Pretty good amount there. So there's a whole lot of crap that's really useless in here. Most paid gear is like either bad or niche in general. There's only a few things that are like pretty good. Arguably best in slot, at least for certain builds. And then there's only like a small handful of things that's like, okay, this is definitively like the best thing you could possibly use for that particular unit. So the fact they added paid gear in here is great, but it can also be a bit of a trap. So you don't really need like any of it unless you want it. You already got Scarlet Blade, which is a big thing to get because people with lower damage cap get good benefit off of that. Like I said before, you could use that on your Roy in place of the Salamander Sword. So if your damage is looking okay, it can just elevate his damage a little bit further, or the damage ceiling rather. So that's an option. The most meta answer though, if you want like endgame top tier things that like the best players do, they ignore all this shit for the most part. I mean, a lot of them might buy it anyway, just because like they've probably already got it with actual paid money. But the main thing that's highest value in here, just because of its scarcity in the game, it's a hot commodity. So we come all the way down, it's UR Dust. Now, you don't have a UR right now. And I would say there's probably like 3 UR arcs that are well worth these things. But these are so rare that any opportunities to get them are usually really, really good. So maybe you don't need to buy them now. Maybe you'll find some paid gear that you're like, okay, this actually like evolves my build in some way that's going to like really, really be a big power spike. Then cool. But if you also just want to sit on Crimson Ore in case like one day you want to start buying Stardust because maybe you'll luck into Great War of Ruin, Theopolis, Council of 10, any of those 3, this is the most important thing for you to get in the game. Because if you can get those skills up to like level 10, it kind of just changes the way that you play the game. It's really, really good. So that's the most meta answer, even though a lot of people don't like to do it, because like 10k is a fucking lot. It is. These are really expensive, but they're also just, they're so rare. They're so impressively rare. So otherwise, if you just want to know in general some of the paid gear that I do think is pretty good, Yashumaru's mask is pretty decent. It saves you a little bit of SC on critical, but mainly it gives you an extra 10% chance to steal. So you can stack with this with the Thief Bangle for two 10% chances to steal on kill, in addition to his 30% chance he has to steal on kill. So odds are pretty high that if you're going through and speed killing things with Yashimaru, you're probably going to get some drops. So that's something that's decent. I don't think it's busted or anything like that. I personally didn't buy it, but it's a decent option. Most of the stuff I think is just bad. Like none of this stuff I think is very worth. Even if you had the units, I don't think they're very good. Tinkeely's is pretty good. Like this is quite good for her, but this is also 8k instead of 4k, so it kind of feels bad. And she doesn't need it.
Okay.
So like in general, there's no paid gear that any unit needs. They just don't. If you had Luxeus, this is one of the better ones. I would say this is in the higher echelon of stuff, but you don't have this unit anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Let's see. Yeah, all this stuff I think is just like either like ranging from bad to fine. Sheeta's is pretty good. Again, not needed, but if you wanted to use him as like a caster, it's pretty good. This is basically just like a largely better cultist pendant that you could give him. Because it gives you like a MP stat, a bunch more MP in addition to that. Gives you the cast speed to make up for it, just not as much, and then some damage increase as well. So like that one I do think is kind of worth. But again, not needed. I just think it's slightly better than a lot of the other garbage that's in here. You don't have Eliza, but her shoes are pretty good for the same reasons as I just talked about with Sheeta's. I mean, you don't have a lot of these units, so it doesn't matter too much anyway. Yeah, and stuff for your unit. I don't even think your unit has stuff in here. Maybe Dark Tank. I've never looked at Dark Tank's paid. I don't know what hers is. Hold on. I'm curious to see if I have any amount of like for that. Oh, she has this. These two things. Let's see here. So effects for debuffs plus 10%, and then plus 10% magic damage with some MP. Okay, that's a nice MP stat, though. Still, this seems fine, but I don't know if it's worth 4K Crimson Ore. Duration of debuffs from active spells, plus 20%, that's pretty good. And restore SCT when a debuff is inflicted, and it's got some other stuff too. This also is pretty good. Again, you don't need it. It's not game breaking, but like it's fine. It's pretty good. So I know it's not a direct answer, but hopefully I was able to give you like some vibes on Crimson Ore stuff. I think you're totally fine to like just sit on it and stockpile until you feel really confident in something that you want or feel that you need. Whether that ends up being UR dust down the road, or if it ends up being a specific units tool because you're like, okay, this unit would be like 30% better if they could do this one thing, and I can only get that thing from this paid gear. You know? Okay. Which just doesn't happen much. But usually anything that you can find in the paid gear shop, you can probably get some alternative that's like 80% as powerful. Like, basically does the same thing. So, it's marginal increases to get their stuff, if at all. So, yeah, there you go. That's Crimson Ore stuff. I'm not going to get into Arena too much, but I'm just curious to look at your stuff here.
I do not play Arena.
You don't play? Okay, cool. When you do play it, you're gaining these points, which is good. Maybe you already know, but get Spell Render. That's the only thing you should buy. Get that. That's your priority. Get Spell Render. Changes the game. Yeah, I won't get into the whole thing, but basically when you have Spell Render equipped, its main boon that it gives you is Wave Start. Gain 50% of all your units' max SC stocks at Wave Start.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you can basically just be Omega, like, super aggro on people, which is really nice. So, that's something. And you have Roy. Roy is basically like the pinnacle DPS unit in Arena. Like, he's pretty unmatched for, like, how incredibly strong he is. So, let's see, what time is it? What time is it right now? We're going on, getting close to 2 hours, but I think we're still looking pretty good overall. Okay, I want to show you something interesting you can do. So, so do you know what Honey Elixir does on its nose? Like, what Honey Elixir actually accomplishes?
It just like drains your MP and heals you.
Yeah, it drains your MP and then it gives all of your max stocks to a unit. So, I wonder if we can actually find where you're at on your hard mode. Because I could just progress your hard mode while I'm showcasing stuff, you know? That would be cool. Alright, let's check places. It's a good way to look for stuff. Wetlands? Oh, I'm so good at this. No, I'm not. Not good enough. Okay, places. Well, this seems positive, maybe. Beautiful. Okay, cool. Alright, no support. We don't need it. It's fine. Let's see. We've got Tink. Yeah, we're gonna... Oh, that's your learning. That's the learning one that we were working with. You have A2. Yeah, we'll just come over here. We'll use this other slot. Gonna, again, not run some other arcs and stuff. We're just gonna run Angela into Grog, and that's it. I'm not gonna highly investigate your build, but we're gonna at the very least give her Fiendhorn. That's one of the best things she could possibly use. She wants dual wield for PvE, so just be mindful of that. You want to give her that. What other crap can we give her real quick? Not much. Is her board at least built out a little bit? Does she have like, she's got like black hole? Okay, cool. I'm gonna do this. You know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm thinking too much about these things. It doesn't matter. Just trying to show you a basic thing. Oh, Hugo, you say you're trying to auto farm with Sheeta, but he always auto attacks. It's because your stats suck. Um, so first of all, have him only with Venomous Rainfall on, Hugo. Okay? Only Venomous Rainfall, so that's all that he wants to do. And then he needs to have higher int. Make sure his int is higher than his strength. If his strength is higher, he's going to want to use skills. And if you don't have skills, he's going to auto attack. He'll never use magic. That's just an AI thing. So have int higher so that he wants to use magic. And then have only Venomous Rainfall so that he can see a dark attribute and then he'll want to use it. So, yeah, that's the thing. Just have his int higher and then you're good to go. He should be just fine. He's one of the easiest units to auto farm with. I know because I did it recently for somebody in one of these. So it's, yeah, definitely works. Okay, so normally this stuff will start out. All right, DeGrogue, she has no skills to use. She can run over and she can, like, auto attack and stuff. This is, it's pretty boring. It's kind of lame. Oh, hey, we got a skill charge, though. We can go and use a skill. Nice. Hey, and she's hitting for 20k. So, like, she's capping already. That's nice. But let's do this. Let's Honey Elixir. Oh, there we go. Oh, now we got some stuff.
Oh, wow.
Now she's got the juice. This is why Honey Elixir is broken. Now, imagine, for a moment, if you will, if you had a unit that didn't have to passively regenerate MP like Angela. Like, her getting back up to 200 MP now is kind of going to suck. But do you know who you have that gets MP back really, really fast? How about your Roy that we were just fighting people with that got back up to 600 MP in, like, no time? You could give him Honey Elixir, for instance. He can use it on her, and then he can use auto attacks to get MP back, and you could just continually have unlimited skills. It's pretty good. So, like, Honey Elixir, it's a thing. It's gonna help you a lot at endgame. It's gonna help you with boss battles. It's gonna do some stuff. We're just gonna run over here and we're gonna use an S2 because I love her S2. It's so good. Blah 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 blah. The damage. I mean, we're on easy stages anyway, but like, you get it. There's some damage. Like I said, teach her dual wield. She gets dual wield. I know she has two-handed spear. That's not a reason to run her single wielded. She'll do way more damage with dual wield. So do that. Yeah. The other thing you can do, you could just simply give DeGrogue Honey Elixir herself, and then she could probably be doing some pretty decent... you give her that, and then Goddess Kiss, if you can teach it to her, which I'm guessing you haven't. You have to go out of your way for that. Probably have to go pretty hard out of your way for that. Yeah, but that's something else that you can teach. That's on March of the Saints, which I think I saw leveled up. So you can teach that to her so that she can use Honey Elixir on herself, kill things, and then if she is running out of skill, if she's out of skills completely and things still have HP, she can use some auto attacks, work on getting back up to 200 MP in order to use it on herself, and then she can be self-sustaining in that way. So yeah, that's why Honey Elixir is so good. You can put it on a DPS unit as long as their regular attacks are strong enough with Goddess Kiss to regenerate quickly. The general thing that I look for is, like, if you can get at least, like, 50 MP back per Goddess Kiss proc, they probably work. And some units are much better. I've seen some units can get, like, 200, 400 MP back on, like, a proc. Depending on what you're fighting, like, Roy can be that level of busted with the right build. Yours is a little ways out, but, like, we were still hitting, like, 120 consistently against Pablo because it was weak to fire. So, yeah, so that's a thing. That's something you should definitely just be aware of for units that are not Roy or magic based. Everybody else, Honey Elixir, really OP. So, yeah. I won't, I don't think I'm going to delve into that anymore. It seems like that probably makes sense. Yeah? Fair?
Yes.
Cool. Any other questions off the top of your head that you're curious about in, like, any aspect of the game? Either, like, how mechanics work, or, like, something else that you're struggling with? I know you said you don't do much arena, so, like, I could crack it open slightly, but there's other videos talking about arena anyway, so, you know, there's other places that we could go into for that, but if you want to, we could talk about that as well.
Well, I did have a question more about units, as far as every now and again they give you those level 100 elixirs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
So what about
I
it?
put one in the Sheeta. I used one on Sheeta. I have another one,
Okay.
and I was so tempted to put it into Princess Punch, but I wasn't sure.
Ah, Princess Punch.
Um,
Sure. So I would say,
Princess Punch or Maddie. I didn't know
okay,
which one, but it was between her and
okay,
Maddie.
between the two, it would be Princess Punch. So Maddie, I would say she doesn't have much use on your account overall, simply because you have Tinkeely, and basically Medine's key role, unless you like branch out to make some janky builds and stuff, is to be like a sub DPS and an enabler of sorts. So she gives you like a big strength buff and a big crit buff, and then increases your damage cap by 2,000, which is like pretty good for your whole team. So like that's her main value, is empowering your other units such as Roy. But
Okay.
Tinkeely on Wave Start, when you unlock Arena Cheers, her top level trait, she on Wave Start gives you plus 20% physical damage, which is better than a strength buff, which you can give to your characters anyway. And then she also gives you 3k cap on Wave Start, and they don't stack because it's the same buff. So, like, she's literally just better, and then when Tink ults, she pushes your damage even further and gives you even more cap. So, like, Medine doesn't do a ton, other than, like, if you're fighting something that's weak to ice, she could be a really good main DPS. But, like, that's kind of a niche. So, like, I wouldn't burn a Rainbow Potion on that niche. You could level her up slowly through, like, I put Lukiel and Yashumaru in your auto farm team. You could just throw her in your auto farm team, you know, and like you could level her up over time. You could get her enhanced, because like enhancing units so they can go to level 100 doesn't take much investment. So you could build her up over time, but otherwise doesn't matter much. Leona is also a little bit niche. She's not like top of DPS stuff, but she specializes in being a bruiser. Like she's one of the tankiest units in the game and can do like still pretty reasonably good damage. So that's sort of her value. I don't think she's like going to change your game at all though. So like I think you're probably better off holding your other Rainbow Potion until you luck into some other new unit that's going to be really cracked for your account. Like if you just happen to pull Roland, the new Roland, he would get your Rainbow Potion, and it would be way higher value than using it on somebody like Leona. Know what I mean?
Okay.
And whatever other new units come out, I don't know how you do your gem economy and like how you spend, if you're like responsible and save for like very like tactical spending, or if you just kind of YOLO pulls and sometimes you get stuff, sometimes you don't. I don't know, but depending on how that stuff goes in general, saving is probably smarter. Sheet is fine for one. He could be a really good support unit. He can also be a DPS. I would say he's probably comparable to like what A2 and Roy could do as far as like single target damage. I would have to do some damage comparisons, but they're all kind of like not quite top tier, but like pretty good. And then Sheet is just also really versatile and good in some other areas too. So for instance, he comes with Giga Drain, so or Giga Weak rather. So, like, we taught the very basic week to Tinkeely so that she can help get things lower on fire resistance for Roy. He comes innately with Giga Weak, which means that he just drops 20% to all enemies in one cast. So if you have a big mob of things that are strong, you can hit everybody with them. He's got Black Hole, so he can pull everything in, so that you can hit everything with damage, which Roy doesn't care because he just hits the entire map, but you get the point. Some units, like, for instance, you could use Black Hole with him, or even DeGrogue, because she comes with it too. Could use Black Hole, suck everything into the middle, and then Angela, that does spells that are in a specific area, she could cast something, and then it would be hitting basically the entire map because they're all grouped together, instead of hitting one enemy and then casting for another group and then casting again. So, yeah, there's ways that you can sort of combo some of those things that's worth thinking about, I guess. Rem's probably worth leveling at some point. It looks like you've started to at least. But she's your only neutral element damage dealer other than Angela with her Ancient Curse. I guess you have Baran and Balin too. So, like, you have some options. I'll be honest, I don't know in general who would be ranked higher for like more endgame stuff, whether it's Rem or Baran. I'm tended to think Rem is probably a little bit better overall. But when you're dealing with things that have really high resistances, which you will face, especially the further into endgame stuff you get, because you're still really early on story-wise. Like, you're not really engaging with super hard stuff yet, but you will. And resistances is something that's going to be a big problem eventually. So having somebody like her leveled up, E5'd, would probably be helpful for some of that stuff, with maybe Tinkeely supporting her. So she could be somebody to work on. Lukiel is going to be worth leveling up and getting maxed out just because she's really good for endgame bosses and some really, really hard content. She can literally cheese things in the game. I'm sure you've seen maybe videos and people talking in Discord, but she's one of the most broken units in the game when she's applied properly. For Arena, eventually, when you care about that, Gorm's really, really good. He's worth leveling. This Lena, when you have her maxed out and properly built, she's really broken with Honey Elixir. Like, beyond belief. She's really, really gross with Honey Elixir. I won't get super far into it, but basically she has this magic cane, and it says restores MP. What that actually does is when you have it maxed out, every single hit on an enemy that this does, she restores 2% of her max MP. So if you can stack max MP and then you give her dual wield, you can get her stacked up to the point that a single use of this could return her like 100 MP back. And you could run that book that I showed you before, the Arc, that cuts your MP cost by 50%. So then Honey Elixir goes from 200 down to 100. So every time you use an S2, she gets to use Honey Elixir on somebody.
That's insane.
It's really insane. So like she on your account currently is probably your best SET battery. So like getting her eventually maxed out is probably going to be helpful. Yeah, because you could use her in basically any place, whereas like Roy doing what we did with Pablo to get the MP returns that he had, that was because things were weak to fire, and things won't always be weak. Hers is unconditional. She just needs to connect with her S2, and then she can be doing that. And if you don't have a perfect build, she can just use multiple S2s in order to get enough MP back to do stuff, and that's fine too. And she's also just a good healer in general, so like she's a solid investment at some point as well. I wouldn't burn a rainbow potion on her or something like that, but just, you know, future goals, work on her. She's worth your time, is my point. Yeah, Leona, again, you could slowly build her up. She can be kind of fun, but she's really niche. She's not going to offer you new levels of power you don't currently have, except maybe in tanking. Like, if there's just something really hard that you don't need to kill fast, but you just need to survive long enough to deal enough damage, she might be able to help there. But she's kind of niche to use. She can be fun. She's a cool unit, but that's it's about the best I can say for that. Nero's really strong, so if you're looking for if you just want to be able to cap and hit big numbers, you just build Nero. He can cap with basically his base kit and like no gear at level 20. His scaling on his skills is just stupid. So, yeah, Nero can be pretty good if you just need some high damage output, and you can give him Trishula. And then Pure Blade, when you eventually make Pure Blade in the Godforge, you could just give him those two weapons. So pretty easy to kit out. And he just hits mega hard. So he could be somebody else if you want an alternate DPS unit. So,
Okay.
yay. What's a good arc for Angela, Trimad Sky? It depends what you need. If you just want her to hit hard once, you could use the Lugmechia arc. But usually she's going to cap anyway, so I don't think it really matters. Aldana Institute is a good one. I mentioned before, it's just kind of a generic pick. You can't see all this stuff here, but basically when this is maxed out, for each sorcerer in your party, it gives plus 10% damage, up to 40% magic damage, which is really good. So you could use sorcery mimicries on all your different units. And then if you have a full team of sorcerers, it's plus 40%. At max, this 5% turns into minus 15% damage when you're using a robe, which is really nice. And I think it has some other benefit. Every time you get a kill, you gain more int, like permanently, like a stacking boon to your int, which means by the time you get to a boss wave, you're going to be even stronger. So if you weren't capping already, you're probably going to be capping by the time you get there. So as a generic choice for any mage, this is one of my favorite picks. If you're having MP issues, the most common thing to use is Altar of the Forbidding Book, which I mentioned earlier in the stream. Gives you magic damage, hurts you, but as a result, you get minus cost to your spells. So, now I will say Angela tends to have MP issues like harder than any others, just because they built her to have MP problems, which is really sad. I'm kind of mad about it, but Nightmare won't help you with that. So like, this can help with some spiky damage if you just need to get a couple spells to hit hard, and then like the match is going to be over. But if you're in a long fight and you find she's running out of MP quick, replace this Nightmare Hat with something else. All right.
Okay.
So yeah, it could be basically anything. You could even do something like this: run the Alchemist Pocket Watch for some extra MP. Yeah, whatever. You could just put on whatever you want. Pretty much that Elder Mask that I talked about getting. Yeah, you got choices. So, all right, I'm gonna go very briefly into Arena just because I want to. I don't know. It's fun to just wow you with some things. So you have enough here. I want to go win a couple matches, get you Spell Render, and show you what it can do. So, let's do that quick. Also, I'm tempted to just throw on Angela. Angela's really good for Arena too. So in general, having a mage that can insta-cast like some crowd control magic is really, really helpful. So you could just put on something like... Okay, she doesn't know Blizzard, so that's not going to help. You know, we'll just put her on Dan. What's that?
Should I teach her Blizzard after this?
Yes, I would teach her Blizzard. Yeah. You teach her Blizzard, and then you put her on priority Ice Magic. And, yeah, you're off to the races. This is what we're going to do for now. Instead, we're just going to try to have her do damage, I guess, because it's funny. From my personal experience, I think Spike Freeze has really high damage scaling on it. So it's a little bit easier to hit harder. Normally, magic damage is nerfed by like 90% in Arena. It's meant to only be for crowd control. But you can kind of still abuse it with certain units, and she's one of them that can actually hurt people a lot. Your build probably can't. But at low levels, it's probably okay. And I don't think you're very far in regards to... Lost my train of thought. In regards to how hard of people you're fighting. So... I'll just put on some stuff, because why not? This is all free. That's all free. Great, great, great. Actually, I could probably do Ancient Curse. That probably makes the most sense, maybe. Because that'll crowd control, and it will mess with some people. Okay, so... I suppose if they happen to have Stone type, we can do that. Road boost, cool. There's so much room. Your build has so much room to grow. Which is great. Yeah. Just because we're going to put on Ancient Curse instead. Strategy, no attribute magic. Cool. Well, that's going to be super expensive, so we're going to give her Ancient Book to make it cheaper. I'm going to come down here. Again, this build will work much, much better if it's just for CC, but, you know, for memes, I think this is going to work better than what you were on anyway, so I think it's probably fine. I mean, Logia was fine. I don't know how high you had him built up, but... you could also have the magic be on her. Oh, you have Blizzard on her, so that's something. That's cool. That's very cool. Oh, from that Aldana Institute. Give her and anybody else casting, like, healing or offensive spells, fast recast. Fast recast is super huge. And you get it at, like, level 4 or something on that arc. It's really great. Okay, so this is here. That's going to be useless. We're going to change this over to... Okay, she's going to be blizzarding things, which is nice. So, we're going to make her do that. I get too into this crap. Oh, geez, you have her dual wielding. That's hilarious. But also not where we want to be. It is funny, but, you know, I don't care. It's just for crowd control anyway. She should at least have more MP. So there. Well... No. Damn it. I'm gonna remove that. That can come back to what you had her on. Second guessing myself. Yeah, that's fine. This can just be something with some MP on it. Cool. Alright. I want to give Angela some gear, though, so she can hit harder. Cool. Cool. She wants the cast speed stuff thing. Yay. And just because, I guess we'll do Mark. Cool. Nice. Roy, how's his damage looking? None of this. Good. Okay. Okay. Fast spray, fast aura, fast some stuff. Alright, seems good. That seems fine. Pose of honor, you want that. Spirit breath probably doesn't matter. I don't think you're doing much for healing. Phase change isn't going to give you very much. It's only regular attacks, which seem to be kind of nerfed in this mode. Berserker, great. Love it. And again, Sharp Eyes. I think I'm going to turn Sharp Eyes off so that you can get more S3s more often. That means we can put an attack raise or a fire raise, which is something for now. Scarlet Rod, ouch. We're gonna make this line up with what we did in PvE. That's gonna be fine. That's something to work with. Something better than what we got. Why does this feel weird? Sword, fire. The fuck? Oh, right. We have to teach him how to do the thing.
Yeah.
Nailed it. Cool. Wait, did we ever teach him fire high boost? No, not yet. So you'll have to do that, which is fine. Okay. Cool. Moonlight and Pride can be cool, though. Alright, let's see. Oh, if you didn't know, set only is a filter function you can use, which is really great. So, like, I know I just need to get rid of stuff to make room. I'll just do this, and now I just have my list limited to that. Which is nice.
Okay.
Alright, stat up. Stat ups can always go. Now, in PvP, the crit stuff is really great. Because spike damage can help you get kills. You don't care about peak DPS. You just want spike damage to nuke people. Hugo, the reason Tink is really good is Wave Start, she gives you a physical damage buff and increases the damage cap of all your units. And then when she ults, which she can do really frequently, she has other ways she boosts your physical damage dealers and bumps that 3k cap up to 5k cap. And she gets her ult back so incredibly fast that she can loop it every, like, 30 seconds or something. Like, if there's a lot of enemies, she just gets her ult back really, really, really fast. It's like the fastest charging ult in the game, or one of them. So yeah, it's super good. I'm going to say Glass Cannon Roy. Not going to add any HP to this. That seems fine. DeGrogue, I don't know what she's doing. I'm going to put her on that. And I'm just going to assume the rest of your build is fine. I don't care. I mean, you're in early arena, so, like, I think that we should be okay regardless. But we'll see how it goes. Oh, I should have probably put you on a... I mean, that's a free win, so I guess we'll get the free win. You love to see it. Yay. Cool. So notice because we put on Pose for Honor, he's already up to, he now has enough for an S3. Hey, she killed with Curse. Look at that. Against the little weak things. Yay. But yeah, getting up to 115 MP is really big, because then you can use one of his S3s, which just nukes the board. It's the reason that he's so incredibly busted in Arena. He will not get outscaled by anybody else. As you get into, like, higher ranks of PvP, he's only going to continue to get better as you refine his build. Okay, cool. We just need a couple of wins here so that you can get enough stuff for the things. Sure, that's slightly more of a fight. I'm not gonna lie, melee's a little bit scary. Oh, actually, hold on. Let's get him on a better arc here. Let's see what's gonna be good for him. And at the very least, I don't love it, but Swordsman's Tale works. We're going to be doing Stardust Live eventually. You'll want this for Arena, because this upgrades more, but we'll see that. I might end up burning some orbs for you, because this will make Arena life much easier. And you should be doing your Arena, at least 2 a day, because it's free Mother Souls. And then as you progress, you'll get good rewards too. There's gems, there's a good sword you get. So definitely continue progressing it. I'm going to use Swordsman's Tale for now, just because the first skill used is plus 50% damage, so it could help us to just nuke right away. And if he can nuke right away out the gate, he can start chaining a little bit, because if he has high enough MP, he can get a lot back with Post of Honor. Okay, so I'm just going to run into the middle here. We're going to use S2. We're going to kill them. Nice. That's enough for his S1. That's going to kill. Nice. Then we're going to come over here and wait for things to spawn. And then we're going to press S2. And then we have enough for an S3 and kill. Cool. Nice. Roy's just great.
That's awesome.
Roy's just... He's a little good. But it's going to be even better. You just wait. This is going to be great. You're going to love it. It just tickles me that you're so close already that we can go and just do this right away. Okay, so we're going to move this over here, move him over here, because I want to control him. Alright, Tank needs to be on Ice Magic priority. And we're going to have DeGrogue be on S3 priority. And Tink's shit doesn't really matter much here. What's a better arc for her, I wonder? God, it really doesn't matter. Ancient Weapon, make her tankier. Less damage from critical hits, more of some stuff. Magic crit. Why does this give a magic critical effect? What? That's so weird. I never noticed that. That's so goofy. Okay. Alright, this arc isn't too great, but like it exists. Wait, you taught Berserker to people. You have this. Give her this. This is so much better. This is so good. Nice. Love it. Alright, this has MP up on it. This we're going to give. We want him to have some more MP. Because again, the closer we can get to chaining into an S3, the better. So Tink's got that one. He can get this, I suppose. Sure. Good enough. And it'll give him some curse resistance, so that's nice. Oh, and hey, we can do the Salamander Sword now because we taught him how. Oh, this will be great. I'm so excited. Love to see the power progress. Alright, let's see how this looks now. Speedster. Okay, I mean, that's another throwaway team, but whatever. We just want free points. See, this is what... Early Arena is so easy. Early Arena is so easy. Alright. Quick Trigger starts out with an S2 again. Okay, so we're just gonna run over to the group. We're just gonna S2. I'm gonna kill you. Cool. See, now that we upped his MP, notice after we got the kill, we have over 115 MP now. So we're just gonna chill here. We're gonna wait for things to respawn, and then we're just gonna S3. Cool. Great. Oh, and also, I'm in the habit of running behind everything. This is another place that you just give things backstab and surprise attack, because that's free 80% damage when they respawn. And also if they're focusing on your other team that's on the other side of the map, cool. Whereas your DPS is on this side getting all the free damage, which is very nice. This is very nice. Yeah. So I should check and see if you have surprise attack and backstab on. Because if not, we can do better. We can push further beyond. Speaking of pushing further beyond. Oh, feels good, man. Feels good. Oh, man. You're about to witness power. Okay, so this is where things change. We're going to do this. Now, because this gives you 50% of all your skills, we need to make a little bit of an adjustment here. So we're going to upgrade this until this actually gives you 1 stock to all your skills. I really hope it's not at max. Actually, do you have something specific you're working on? I don't actually want to use all your red orbs if you like have...
Actually, I don't. You're good.
Yeah, okay,
really
alright. Alright, because this changes Roy's effectiveness pretty significantly if we can make this work. I just hope it's the... Oh, yes. Maximum stock of all skills +1. Score. That's what we care about. Rest of it, what it does, I don't care. It doesn't matter. It lets it so that now instead of having 1 stock of S3, he gets 2 stocks, which means he starts with a full one with Spell Render, which is worth an arc slot. You can upgrade it more if you feel like it, but that's there. Additionally, does he know skill charge 3? Because that would just push this right over the edge. Oh, yes. Yes. Surprise attack and backstab. Sky high. Oh, this is going to be good. It's going to be good. All right, let's see here. So we've got dual wield. Great. We've got surprise attack. Da, 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 da. Oh, yeah. Attack raise. Yeah, get rid of you. We don't need you anymore. Go away. Backfire. Nah, we're too good. You're not going to hurt us. This is good. Glass cannon all the way, bitches. Okay. Now this is going to change things. Now we're going to hit play. Cool. We're gonna fight you. Great. Now it's to the point that, like, in this early of PvP, you could probably just full auto. And, like, just be fine. So now... Oh, I never turned it on. God damn it. Okay. Next time it'll look really impressive. Hold on. Hey, stop attacking me. S2. Thank you. Can you just go away? I don't have time for you. No, I need you to stop. I'm not looking to try here. Okay. Let's see here. So Kyle's here. All right, so we're gonna hit you. Roland's here. Yeah, we're gonna hit you from across the map because it's just fucking silly. Okay. All right, so Roland's chilling over there. That's fine. All right, and now S3 is up, which means we can do that. Okay, cool. Made me sweat a little because I wasn't ready. I went in unprepared. But we're fine. We're fine. You live forever. Nefet's glad to know that our previous session is working out for you. Glad your PvP's going well. Alright, so this is what we're going to do now. We're going to actually use the new tool that we just spent 500 coins on. Since I didn't do that. Alright, the Spellbreaker. Or Spellrender. Beautiful. So one thing we will want is an Allure tank eventually, which means throwing monster attractiveness on somebody. For instance, we could use the Grog for that, potentially. Which is like, we come in here and say, let's see if she just happens to know it. Allure. Great. Great start. Spirit Breath can just go away. I don't care. Equip. Let's see some of the other stuff. Do you have the one Imperial Shield thing? Looks like no. And judging by you not having... Oh, you have Remuru's Honey. Okay, that's something. So that's 2 stacks of Allure at least. That's something. Does she have... Do you have the... You have this. Then she can use this. So she gets some extra SC. And then when she's low HP, things are more likely to attack her. Cool. So then she should get a decent amount of the aggro, while everybody else is kind of being left alone. So we look at where things come in. 1, 2, 3, 4. We want Roy on the opposite side of de Grog. Actually, she's going to S3 to charge it anyway, so it doesn't really matter, to be honest. But just in case, we'll try to make sure that we're helping our odds. So we're going to change around these priorities just a tad. Cool. Now Spellrender is actually on. Now we're going to fight somebody, and we're just going to full auto and see what happens. It might be a mistake, but we'll see. He should have a full charge of S3 right away, plus some more, which means he should chain into multiple. So, starts out, even quick trigger hit it. Oh, I didn't do priority on him. But it doesn't matter, because de Grog is mopping up with Spellrender now. I didn't even need Roy. Didn't even need it. Best investment in Arena. Bar none. It's not even close. Spellrender's stupid. It's so good. It's so good. Alright. Well, it's more impressive when you're going against people that are harder, but, you know, still feels pretty good. Yeah, we just don't let them deal damage. That's how we do things. Okay, so let's also put him on priority S3. Cool, great. Sure, I mean, it's free points. Pretty much, you can just always make sure that you're always fighting people over 30 trophies, because if they're not that much, you can be beating people that are worth more points, so it'll just help you climb ranks faster. They can go as high as 100, but you probably won't find people like that very often. Okay, so he's going to start out with an S3, murder the entire board. But notice he already has 1.5 more charges of S3s left already, because he got kills and had skill charge 3. So he throws another one. Okay, cool, things are dead. So for a decent amount of the future, you should be able to just full auto with this team and be fine. And then, like, you can start carrying more after that. But, yeah, it's pretty good. Roy is pretty silly. And you set up pretty okay with it. It gets even grosser when you can get that Godforge Fireclaw for him. And then you could also give him Pureblade Miramasa and, like, a, Sword High Boost. And then you can also have the Claw and, like... Yeah, it's really silly. Roy's very easy to cap with an Arena, which is normally hard. You could probably tell that, like, damage is really neutered in Arena, so it's really hard to hit big numbers. You can still cap with some units anyway, and Roy's one of them that's very easy to damage cap with in Arena. He's really gross. Especially because he has this passive that is, like... It's like a 5% chance or something. I don't know. It's some small percent chance that every single one of his hits has a small chance of doing an extra hit worth 200% of the damage that hit dealt. So if he's hitting somebody for like 1,000 damage and they have a 10,000, HP pool, that's going to hurt a little bit, but his S3 hits 16 times. With dual wield, that's, 32 hits. And if any of those 32 hits hit this other one, that extra free hit is going to be 2k damage. So it's just like, it just gets a little silly, is the point. So, it's a thing. So there you go. You now have arena stuff. I would say, especially with this team, like, you may as well just, like, try to at least make sure that you're getting, like, your 50 points every day. Or 45 is, like, a little bit more minimal, because then you're not... either way, 45 or 50. Worst case, definitely get 2 wins a day, because then you get free Mother Souls and Red and Blue Souls. But otherwise, you can keep getting these currencies up. Is your Beast Hunter maxed to 10 already? Or do you know what that means?
Beast? No, I have no idea.
Oh, great. That's another piece of parting advice I can give you. Holy shit. Okay, you've been doing real good with your arc extensions. I was very impressed with, like, some of your AP mods. Made my life real easy. But anything with an arc skill always gets your extensions. Beast Hunter has, like, the best one. Oh, you're level 6, so, like, you're working on it at least. So, like, yeah, let's just keep bumping this shit. Look at that. Beautiful. You've been around for a minute. Look at that. You're already up to 9. Great. Basically, when that gets to 10, it's a 100% chance to steal one thing from every unit on the board.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I think at 9 now, this is probably like an 85% chance or something. So, like, it's still really fucking good. So do that. But a way that you can do that, because this is still going to take you probably like 20 more or something. Like, it's a lot for this final level. But if you're doing arena every day and getting those like 50 points, this is... one of the places where you can come in here, and every month, every time it like resets, there's 2 of these dusts in here, so you could get 2 of these. So that's a 600 total, which takes you 12 days. So half of your coins could go towards getting an extra 2 of these dusts for Beast Hunter every month. So that's something you could do. And then you could also get 3 extra gacha tickets for free. If you need some other stuff, you can get it. That's pretty much the only things I buy, though, is gacha tickets. And then if I need some dust, which I don't anymore, but I used to. So, yeah, I would do that. So if you're not bored or annoyed with PvP, that's a reason to go get some of those points for pretty much anybody. Especially newer accounts for people that are watching. Because you've been playing for a while, so you have a lot of dupes on Beast Hunter, and, like, you're already up to 9, which is good. Most accounts don't just have, like, dust to be able to throw around and stuff. Which, actually, I wonder if you have dust on your account. Like, you might just have some to throw at it. Unless you've used them before.
I think I might have used them. Oh.
look at that. Hold on, I don't want to use too many. I don't know how many you actually need, but, like, you might just be able to max level it right now.
I didn't even know I had that many, to be honest with you.
Oh, hell yeah, I even wasted one. Look at that, you're max level Beast Hunter, bitch. Nice. So, like, you don't even need somebody like Yashimaru for most of your farming stuff. As far as, like, most of the events that you're going to farm, like if you're going for, like, crystals and stuff, the big drops you care about is usually on the boss wave. So then you can just use Beast Hunter, get a guaranteed drop, and then you're good to go. The main place Yashimaru is going to be really good is when you have some of these limited time events where you can go and you want to farm from, like, everything that's on the board. So, like, the enhancement shards that come up for your weapons when we get those stages, and those drop from all the enemies. Well, you can still bring Beast Hunter. That could go on like the final wave or whatever, but Yashimaru being able to steal from like everybody on all the preceding waves means that you're overall going to get way more of those shards and resources. So that's where he comes in. But for a lot of these other things, when you come into farm, you're probably just going to want the big expensive drops, and those only drop on the boss wave. So you could just take a big PP DPS, quick clear everything, Beast Hunter final round, kill the boss, move on to the next one. Yeah. You now have a level 10 Beast Hunter. You didn't even know it. Love it.
Yeah, thank you.
Very good.
I do have one more question with the friend points.
Oh, yeah. Friend points. Totally. What about them?
So I've just been stocking up on them because I have no idea what the hell I should be spending them on.
Great. Yeah, let's talk about that. So for one, I highly recommend just like bumping that up. Like I said, it's worth the lack of 110 pull. Basically because these are so valuable. So two things you can do for this. One, there's a trading space. If you're trying to upgrade somebody and you just like need one more thing, you just don't feel like going to farm it or something, or you just don't feel like you have an easy way to go get it, you can just come into the friend point shop and like they just have stuff in here. So if you just happen to need like some extra clusters to go max somebody out, or like I see people all the time like, hey, I don't know how to farm Light of the World. I can't level up my units. Why aren't they dropping for me? It's because you're not farming the right thing, first of all. And also, they're in the friend shop. Just come buy what you need. If you need it. It's here. Every single month, you can get 2 of each. So if you just happen to need one and you don't have them on your account, there you go. You've been playing a while, so you're kind of like me, and you have more than you're going to know what to do with. Probably. For a while. Like, you're looking pretty good. But if you happen to need some, you can come in to get it. Same with these little materials for enhancement stuff. You can come and get some of these if you need them. So that's one option if you really need it. The best thing is to just stockpile for times like now. Ooh, can I do your 10 pull?
I'll go for it.
Big money. Let's go. Bring all the luck. Okay, we got a full squad. Cool. Wow, that was extremely underwhelming. Lame.
Sad.
At least it was free, but like, the fuck?
Yeah.
Jeez, way to kill that buzz, Adis. Alright, so this right here, this is what you save for. When it says limited time, this is like super enhanced drop rates on all the stuff. This is the place that you spend it all. So it takes a little while, but oh god, I'm sorry chat. I know it works. It's really, really bad. Hold on. Let's turn volume off for a second so it's not killing everybody's ears, because this comes through really, really badly. So basically, you're just going to come in here after we're off this and just spam click this. You're just going to do this. So you can see, like, you've got your enhancement shards. You've got some clusters. Let's do a few of these just to get a general sense of stuff. Okay, another cluster here, which you can use because you're trying to still unlock some of these ability boards. This is, like, the worst you're ever going to see. That's, like, absolutely horrendous. But, like, you've got so many. You get, look at that, free mega cluster. What else do we got? Cool, even more clusters, more weapon shards. Like, this is just a great way to just spike up your mega clusters. You're getting regular crystals, too. It's just super duper high value. Metal plates, you need this for your pure blade that I told you to work on. Yeah, you just get all sorts of shit. Super duper high value. Come do this, empty all your stuff. And if you have, look, another mega cluster for you, great. If you have your whole friends list set up, and you make sure that maybe like once a month you go through and like delete anybody that hasn't played all week so that you can make room for people who are actually active. Them sending you points, you sending them points, it adds up really quick. Like, you said you've been stockpiling this for a long time. When this first got here, I spent all my friend points, and I'm back up over, like, 250k now. Just in the duration that the anniversary has been here, that's how much I've gained back between auto-farming and just friend point sharing from having a 200 list. So, like, yeah, as you can imagine, with these resources you can get, this is massive quality of life. So, and this only comes around once every like 2 or 3 months, I think. So you just save up for these times, you dump all your points into it, get all your free shit. Feels good. For most people, this is like the only way to get weapon shards to like do Godforge alchemy and stuff. So, yeah, for you it's going to be similar since like your tours aren't very far, but tours will help you with that sort of enhancement stuff down the road because those last 2 slots, they just give you a bunch of everything, and weapon shards are like one of the key things. So,
Okay.
hey, you got some more stuff here too. Yay! Look at that.
Yeah.
Nice. Free stuff. Beautiful. All right. Cool, man. Well, yeah, we covered a lot, but
Yeah.
hopefully you're feeling, you know, on a pretty good path compared to where you were. Any other closing thoughts or questions that you have at this time?
Thoughts or questions? Can I be a son of a bitch and ask you to help me build my rim?
Your REM? Yeah, we can take a look.
Yes.
Yeah, sure, let's take a look. Let's see what she's working with. Let's take a peek. Okay, so you got her ADSC. Cool. How close to enhancing her do you have? Okay, you have to farm some materials, which is fine. But, like, this is one of those cases where, well, you need to go auto farm a bit. But if you auto farm tonight, on the auto farm that I set up, oh no, you can't. You have to get through hard mode. We're getting through hard mode.
Right.
But yeah, if you were to that point, you could auto farm tonight, get more than enough Zell to get this upgrade, and you could potentially just go buy some upgrade stuff from the Friend Point shop and just like get her up. Maybe not this. I don't know if you get 12 of those. That might be a hard ask, but yeah. Anyway, get her maxed out. She'll want her traits leveled up for sure. You have her on dual wield, which is great. She obviously wants to be on a hammer. You don't have good hammers, is what I'm seeing, though.
Good or good?
Okay, this probably isn't bad. So, crit rate up. Crit rate could be good, because she might just struggle with some damage. I mean, well... Okay, so what's the current one that you... What's this actually do? Anti-god, regular attacks, absorb HP. Okay. What's this one? Okay, so this is all regular attack stuff. Yeah, her regular attacks don't really matter too much. So, yeah, it just doesn't do much. Oh, wait, ball and chain. Plus 5% physical damage. That's better than what you got. So that's pretty good. What you could do, though, is teach her how to use a sword, which we just gave you the ability to do on your one arc. So you could teach her to use a sword. And then she's one of those units, like, she could either use Scarlet Blade, or if she's having trouble hitting her damage cap, she can use Pure Blade once you craft it. So that will help. And then, because you give her that, you can give her Sword High Boost, and that will help her as well. Let's see what you have for her. So, Hammer Boost, you can give her Hammer High Boost. So, instead of, like, actually trying to build her, I'm just going to give you ideas, because you don't have her with enough stuff necessarily yet. But since you have so many general pool things, here's yet another arc for you to level up. Hammer High Boost. She really wants this, like, a lot. So, yeah, work on getting her a Hammer High Boost. That's great. I normally like running Berserker on everybody. I would say she probably shouldn't, if you can help it. Just because when she's in her, like, demon mode, she can't heal. So she can hurt herself but not heal it off. So, yeah, maybe Berserker might be a little bit of a trap for her there. But if she doesn't have Sharp Eyes already, you can give her Sharp Eyes to help with some damage if you would like. So that's an option. She comes with Sharp Eyes, so never mind. It's been a while since I've been on there. Long range physical damage. When special gauge is full. This seems a little bit questionable because I don't know how often her special gauge is going to be full. So that's probably not going to do much for her, but it's not bad. From Zero's fine. Your Demon Like Way is also good. So you can run that instead of, like, fast crit. Oh, and also, you had fast and auto brave on it. She already has auto brave, so, like, that doesn't really matter. You also have special boost, but there's no Slayer on, so it's not doing anything. So, basically what this does is if you have a Slayer on, it takes this from a plus 50% damage to a plus 100% damage. So that's what that does. This is not for your alt damage, like your S4. That's not what this does. Even though, like, people call it a special, that's just a weird translation thing. If you were looking to buff her special damage, that's called Ultimate Boost, which is on an arc you could teach her. But I don't think her special is really that great, if I'm being honest. So I don't think it matters. For her, as well as like DeGrogue, leveling up the pirate ship so that you can get Pirate Feast is really huge. So you could do that. She could learn Honey Elixir for herself. She's one of those units that could be a self-sustaining battery for Honey Elixir. So that's an option. A top-tier hammer for her to work towards. Again, this is Godforged stuff, so like this is a long ways out. You should make Pure Blade first. You should probably make Fantasia Cape first. And then probably even the Fire Claw first. But after that, though, another good target for you is... Okay, you really need to get this stuff upgraded. Hold on. I mean, you're gonna need some of these anyway, so I'm just gonna craft some stuff here because you need some progress. How many small mats do you have? Do you have stuff that I could just waste? Because I want to get your alchemy up. Holy shit. Okay. Yeah, dude, can I just waste some of this shit? Is that fine?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, cool. This is how you level up alchemy. Oh wait, that's not very many. Hold on. I don't want to use all your shit. Wait, number fused. Why? Is that really all I can craft? Okay, so we're gonna do a little bit of that. Wait, why is that so few? Why can I only make 16? That seems weird.
Oh, money.
Oh, money. Oh, fuck you, money.
I got stuff you can sell.
Yeah, we'll do some bars. Sell some bars. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, cool. We have money. You can do all the things. You love to see it. Okay, cool. There we go. Now we can do some shit. Let's get your alchemy level up. So yeah, for anybody that doesn't know how to level alchemy, just do this. Use some money. You just come in here. Cool. It's level 7 and almost level 8 already. You just spam convert shit you don't care about. It's a minor Zell investment. 50k per this increase. Look at that. We're just skyrocketing in levels.
Jeez.
This is all you gotta do, guys. This is all you gotta do. Just make little shit. Yeah, we'll just keep converting these. This is fine. Cool. Great. Cool. We're getting, yeah, some rank on this stuff too. Oh, jeez. Why does it make me scroll all the way every time? So annoying. Okay, we're going to do some more of that. Great. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of, let's see here. So we've got, yeah, we can convert some of this now back to that stuff. Is that enough? Yeah, okay, cool. We're max. Now you have everything available to you. Yay. So this gives you a couple other things. So I told you that when you start auto farming, you're going to basically have a whole bunch of green and blue stuff for crystals. So you can just come in here now, and when you need purples or reds, you can just, when this is getting to be a much bigger number, like 999 and way above, you could just say, I need purple. Cool. I'm just going to come fuse a bunch of greens into purples. And then, oh, I need some reds. I'm going to take those purples and turn them into reds. And then you just farm one spot. You just get everything you need.
Okay.
It's pretty great. And then additionally, every day you can come in here and you can make 5 of every cluster. Now, it costs 50 of these crystals in order to make these, but if you're auto farming all the time and you have infinite green and blue to convert over to a bunch of reds, you can then have plenty of reds to convert to make 5 of these every day. And then your cluster income looks really good. So when you can make 5 of these and 5 purples every single day, you're going to be able to build units out really easily. You won't have to struggle with that anymore. You can worry about other shit than just filling ability boards. The goal is you want to get to the point that if you get a new unit, you should be able to 108 their board instantly. Like that's the dream. Like I don't think I ever have less than 100 of all my clusters. I feel bad if I make it, like every once in a while I'll get like 2 or 3 units in a row because we get like some free unit and something else, and I just like building people to be janky. And then I'll see my red clusters be like down to 50 or something. I'm like, oh, this won't do. And then I just do some of these things, make 5 a day, buy out stuff out of event shops, and I get back over 100 pretty easily. It doesn't take too much if you like are making sure to clear stuff out and are just trying to get on it. But this helps a lot. So if you start auto farming a lot, it's going to help. It won't be instant, but over time, if you auto farm every day for like 4, 8, 12 hours, like however long you can leave stuff auto farming, it's just going to help your quality of life overall. You're going to not have to worry about piddly stuff, and you can focus on theory crafting and like understanding game mechanics and how your team's comprised instead of like how to upgrade things, you know? So that's the end game dream. But the main point before I squirreled is if we now look in the Godforge, we can see all the things you have available to you. Different stuff you can craft. So, for example, the current event that exists, looks like you completed this probably from the 5 Battle Lords. You can complete 4 Battle Lords as well. You can get this sword. And then, just like we talked about with Pureblade, you plus 40 each of these. Make one of these. And then you can make this for A2.
Jeez.
It's pretty good. And then if you manage to plus 40 this turns into plus 25% light physical damage. It's pretty good. Another option that's more budget friendly. On one of the arcs, you can get Excalibur, which is really shitty. And then some other stuff that you can build up and go farm from Godforge bosses. You can make this. And this is another really good light sword. This one also will turn into plus 20% light physical damage. And this crit becomes unconditional, so it's just plus 20% physical damage and plus 5% crit rate. So also really good for A2. So, and this one will be much more affordable to create than this one. But either way, now you can at least see some goals because you have your alchemy upgraded. Like, you can see what's available to you. One of the best axes in the game. It just gives you fucking everything. It's just, this is a stupid piece of gear. But anyway, let's see here. Stuff that you actually want to care about. So, De Grogue, if you want to go into her, or any other dark unit, like for instance, Sheeta, for physical DPS, this is one of his best in slot. If way down the road you can plus 40 this is super duper good. It's basically the same as the current one, except you also get a flat plus 15% strength when it's maxed. This in desert goes away when it's maxed out, which means that it just like jacks your stats through the roof and makes Sheeta scale ridiculously. Because one of Sheeta's things that's really interesting is he makes it so that all your weapons that are equipped get plus 50% to their base stats, or plus 50% to their strength and int. So when you're looking at over 400 strength here, and then you also have something that's like this bow, for instance, which is his other best in slot in my opinion, you're going to have over 300 here. That scales up immensely. So like his default, whereas most of your physical damage dealers might have like maybe 2,000, 3,000 strength, his normal's more like 4K, and you can push him even higher. I have a Sheeta build that I make just to be silly, where like he's almost 8K strength before you get in game with buffs. It's just funny, because he's just silly and stupid. But yeah, there's fun things you can make in here. Oh, this one. This is what you want for Rem. This is pretty much the best you can get. Really, really high strength, 5% crit rate. This turns into 15% when you max it out. But yeah, you just craft this. It's got some extra damage. It's neutral element, so she gets all her neutral damage bonuses to her Goddess Kiss. This is the thing to look for if you want to max out your Rem. This is probably the best hammer she can use, for sure.
Okay.
Gorm's Gleaming Hammer, which doesn't sound suggestive at all. That, yeah. It sounds like a video title. We're not going to get into that. Let's see. Brave Bow. This is one of the highest value Godforges as well. This is best in slot on an endgame Yashimaru build, and also just really good on others as well. It gives you 5% crit rate. This turns to 8% when you plus 40 it. And then it also gives you Beast, Bird, and Fish Slayer for free. So normally those are like 8 SC each, but it's just all free and baked in here, so you don't have to swap around Slayers and stuff. So if you happen to just be using some unit like, maybe you want to just be lazy with Roy and just do multiplayer stuff, and there happens to be a lot of these types of birds, beasts, and fish types, and he's just not capping or something, you could potentially just like run this with Trish in a lazy build, and he probably is going to be doing some really good damage. Otherwise, yeah, Yashimaru, you can run this on him, gives him some crit. We can talk about Yashimaru way down the line. But yeah, this in general is high value. You want it for sure at some point. Other ones of these don't matter much. This is that claw I was talking about that's just silly. Yeah, like I said, this turns to 40% when you max it out. It's so dumb. But yeah. It's very scary. Other piece of advice for Godforge stuff. Getting things to plus 40 takes probably like quadruple the amount of resources as just crafting the damn thing. So it's harsh diminishing returns. So like go through and craft the base version of all the crap that you want before you worry about plus 40 in them. Because like just having the thing exist on your account is massive. So like that's the goal. Just unlock the base version, and then like somewhere way down the line when you're a real end game, that's when you can go and grind things up to plus 40. But just slowly being able to unlock some of this different gear to give you access. The Godforge has most of the best in slot stuff for most characters. So yeah. This is end game grind. It's gonna be really slow, but like having the friend point gacha is gonna help. Most of this other stuff doesn't matter too much. Somewhere down the road, if you need to make somebody tanky or you have somebody that you want survivable, these two are the best. This one's easiest to craft, reduces your chance to take crits, and then just has a flat minus 10%. This is the most broken armor in the game, bar none, but it's also takes a lot to craft. It's really expensive, but worth working towards. So, Shine Plate and Male Millennia, both really good. For Tinkili, if you... I feel like I'm giving you too many things right now, but for anybody else that happens to be watching, if you just want some decent clothes for Tinkili, this one's pretty good. You get a continuous regeneration effect when you get this plussed, which is really cool. And then she gets a bunch of resistances to stuff and like some pretty decent stats too. So yeah, I like that for Tink. For yeah, I don't have anything else to say on those. These things are all good. Okay, this is the one thing I was talking about, Black Diamond. You're actually really close to making, which is super cool. You have to beat another endgame boss to get Orange Diamond. I don't remember where that is, but like when you can get it, cool. And then you can make Black Diamond, which is like one of my favorite items in the game. Gives you a bunch of strength and MP and HP. Gives you 1 free revive when you die. Gives you plus 5% to all your base stats. And then gives you resistances to stun, illness, and poison too. It's so good. It basically just takes all the things that are good about these, which are just like kind of fine on their own, and then puts them all together to be like a super item. So yeah, good shit. So yeah, Godforge, it's a thing. It's gonna feel a little bit out of reach right now, but it's worth working towards. Your priority should definitely be Pureblade. It's just generically the most valuable thing in my opinion. Then if you care a lot about maxing out Angela, this is the biggest thing. This will be the best robe. It's not even close. So get her that. Okay. And then if you want to go for upgrading Rem after that, Gorm's Hammer is going to be really, really great. Give her that gleaming hammer, as they say. Oh, you're here, Jawline. Thanks for showing up just as we're about to sign off. We're only going on like 3 hours on this one because I've been having a lot of fun. But I'm glad you showed up on the tail end, man. All right. So anyway, that's that stuff. And of course, if you think of anything else that you like need help with, or like maybe you get to the point of like feeling like Rem's pretty built out, you get her enhanced 5 with like 90 SC and you got a build set up, but you feel like it's just not quite good enough. I think you're in my Discord, and like you're over in the LC main Discord as well. Like you can always feel free to ask, and like people are going to be able to help you out. So whether it's myself or somebody else, just post, ask for help. We're all pretty willing to contribute and assist. So yeah. All right, man. Well, thanks for hanging out. I've had a good time. You had a really cool account, some good questions. So yeah, I hope you have a nice night and good luck with your stuff. Hopefully you'll be able to progress through stuff even quicker than before, which is great. So
yeah, thank you so much for the knowledge and just the vast amount of information. It really helps.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Happy to help. I enjoy doing this stuff. So, if anybody else out there is struggling, feel free